The Valley of the Sun is the place to be in the spring as the Giants prepare for the upcoming season. With a core group of veteran players returning in 2018 and some key acquisitions in a busy offseason, it's a time for hope and optimism. It's spring training baseball, and it's the Giants and Dodgers, and it's coming up next. Baseball is back. We're in the desert. It's spring training time as we come to you from Scottsdale Stadium. Welcome to NBC Sports Bay Area, and it's powered by Xfinity. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me, as always, is Mike Krukow. Well, hey, it's time for baseball. They've been at it for a couple of weeks, and there are some storylines, and there's a lot we could cover. But, Mike, I'm going to ask you to focus on one today.
Well, a lot of stories indeed, but I think the one story that's jumping off the page right now is Steven Duggar. He's the guy who has been rumored to be a candidate to play center field for the Giants. So far this spring, he's been raking, hitting .375, 2 homers, 5 RBIs, and catching everything in center. He'll be in the lineup today, and we'll get a chance to see him.
All right, it'll be Jeff Samardzija on the hill for the Giants, Kenta Maeda for the Dodgers. All right, when we come back, we will have the lineups and the first pitch right after this.
Firefighting is a
With 40 mpg than any other manufacturer. Toyota, let's go places. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new food truck series, featuring 3 new food truck inspired sandwiches. Only at Jack in the Box.
All right, back here at Scottsdale Stadium, the Giants have taken the field. Let's take a look at the Dodgers lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. In the leadoff spot will be Chris Taylor, followed by Utley, Bellinger, and Yasiel Puig. Then it's Grandal, Peterson, and Forsythe. Austin Barnes will be the DH, and hitting ninth will be Kike Hernandez.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Jeff Samardzija. You take a look at what he did last year. Don't let the 9-15 fool you. It was a great year for Samardzija. He led the league in innings pitched with 207. And look at the controls. 205 strikeouts, almost 1 per inning against 32 walks. That's a dominant number of a couple of statistics right there. Giants figure that he'll give him a bigger year and they'll get more runs for him. That was the key. He did not get many runs scored for him last year. Fastball pitcher, power arm. You'll see 5 different looks. And this spring, he's been working on a changeup to go with the fastball, curveball, slider, split. And we'll see some of those changeups today. Take a look at the defense playing behind Samardzija today. Starting the Giants outfield from left to right, it's going to be Parker, Duggar, and McCutchen. That's your outfield. Sandoval, Tomlinson on the left side of the infield. Panic and Belt on the right side. And Nick Hundley, he'll be in the squad putting down the signs.
So Chris Taylor's going to stand in. Skipper Bruce Bochy at the rail. Watching Jeff Samardzija, his bench coach to his left. Bam Bam Mullins. So here's Taylor. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way. And we get started on a pitch called high. So we get started at 106. 65 degrees here in the desert. It's cooler today than it was yesterday. But still, when the sun's out, perfect. Swing. You ain't gonna miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And that's the changeup. Say 87 mile an hour. That's a high velocity changeup, but the arm action identical to the fastball. And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to throw it. I'm going to throw a lot early in the count." He says, "I'll use the split to try and finish guys off."
And a pop up to either Panic or Belt, and it's Joe Panic down the right field line who makes the play. And that's how this game gets started. Here's Utley. By the way, both teams, yes, there are ties in spring training. Both teams have 4 wins, 5 losses, and 1 tie. So here's Utley. Utley re-signing just recently with the Dodgers, and he takes a call strike. He does not yet have a hit this spring. Utley is what is he, 0 for 8? Yeah, 0 for 8.
He's 0 for 2018. That's what he's 0 for.
Yeah. It'll start to bother you really soon, even though these games don't count.
Yeah, hitters are hitters. They're not getting hits. They're miserable.
But if they're getting too many hits, they're miserable in spring training too.
The Rich Aurelia effect. He was hitting over 400 in spring training. He was miserable.
And a called strike to make it 1 and 2.
Well, right now, if you watch Samardzija, it looks like a softballer. I mean, he's throwing a lot of dookie stuff right now. And really, that's what he wants to work on, that changeup.
And a bit high. The home plate umpire is Mark Rippiger. Miller, Culpa, Nick. Marley is at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a bit in tight, a full count. Bellinger to follow.
Utley joined the Dodgers late. I mean, he was one of those free agents that was out there. Dodgers decided to bring back the veteran. Hard-nosed pro.
And this is tapped first base side, and it'll roll foul. And don't let it go, hoping that it might spin around and hit the bag.
Tried to come back. Once he saw Utley pull up reins and quit running, why not let it go? The ballpark today is playing live to right field, as we so often see it here at Scottsdale Stadium. Beautiful day. As Kite mentioned earlier, a little cooler than yesterday. But they're saying that the cool weather is about ready to go away, and it's going to start getting upwards around high 70s, low 80s here the next week. Very Cactus League-ish.
You ain't gonna miss. You got him. So Well, here's Bellinger.
Take a look at the payoff pitch. Split finger fastball, kind of a hanger, but for Utley, who, remember, he got here late. He's trying to gear up for the fastball. Off-speed stuff's going to make him look a little out balanced, and that one did.
So here's Bellinger. Bellinger takes a pitch down low. The Giants yesterday had a split squad, and they won both games. They beat Texas here in this ballpark 9-4, and then we're in Goodyear and beat Cleveland 13-4. So they had a lot of home runs yesterday, scored a lot of runs.
Yeah, the Giants with 17 home runs so far this year through 10 games. Man, that's a lot.
Bellinger with 39 home runs last year, and he rolls this one foul. John and I did a game at the Dodgers on radio last weekend, and Bellinger played, and we realized that he did not cut down his swing in the offseason.
No, he does not get cheated. Very upright stance.
No swing.
How about location? That's what had Samardzija shaking his head. I don't know if that was outside or low. I think that man would too.
So 3-2 on the healthy rip. He also had 97 RBIs. Remember, he didn't start playing regular for the Dodgers for a while. They had Adrian Gonzalez at first base. And a base hit to right field for Bellinger.
Yeah, that was his 2-out, 2-strike swing, which is basically the same as his 2-0 swing. Take a look at the hack. They set up an outside location. This one comes across the plate, middle in at the knees. And he lets it go.
So here's Yasiel Puig. You heard the warm reception that he received here at Scottsdale Stadium.
Definitely a Giants fan favorite.
And you look around the park, there's a pretty good number of Dodger fans here. And Puig takes a strike. Puig's numbers last year, he had 263. He had 28 home runs, and he had 74 runs batted in. This spring, he does not have a home run. He does not have an RBI. And he's 4 for 12. Yasmani Grandal is on deck. This is a standing room only crowd this afternoon, and we expected that, of course, and it's high and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, the mood around this town is just electric, and I'm talking both sides of the valley. Now, the Giants are on the east side of the valley, the Dodgers on the west side. But boy, everywhere you go, I mean, there's just great attitude. It's spring training. People are ready for baseball. Andrew McCutchen, a new Giant this year. Can't wait for the Giants fans to watch him get to play every day.
Hit out into right center field. McCutchen is going to dive, and it gets by him for a base hit and extra bases, and it's going to drive in Bellinger, and it's 1-0.
McCutchen almost pulled it off.
He almost pulled it off. You're right.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that makes a manager and a coach cringe when you see one of your starters make a dive in spring training. But McCutchen, I mean, that's how he plays. And if you ask him who you play for, you're playing for your teammates. He's letting Jeff Samardzija know that, you know what, I got you.
Plus, he's built like a running back. So here's Grandal. Grandal takes a high breaking ball for a strike.
Nice opposite field at bat for Yasiel Puig. Boy, if you're a hitter and you're getting opposite field gap doubles in spring training, you're thinking you're locked in.
Grandal is 1 for 13 during the spring, and this is bounced to Panic, and this will end the inning. So a 2-out single and then a double. Giants are coming up. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
Granted.
Take a look at Bruce Bochy's lineup, and it's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Panic in the leadoff spot, then Belt, McCutchen, and Evan Longoria. Longoria is the DH. Sandoval will hit in the 5th slot. Then it's Parker, Hundley, and Duggar. And hitting 9th is Kelby Tomlinson.
On the hill today for the Dodgers will be the right-hander Kenta Maeda. Maeda, 29 years of age. He'll turn 30 in April. 6'1", 190-pounder. See what he did last year in 26 starts. 13-6 record with a 4.22 ERA. Over a strikeout an inning against a low number of walks. A command specialist, and you'll see him use both sides of the plate with everything. And I mean, he's got everything. He'll sink the ball, he'll cut the ball, he'll throw a curveball, change up, slider split. He'll invent stuff out there, and he has exceptional command. He's not a guy that tries to fool you with just speed and a variance of speed. He can also vary his motion and his motion rhythm. He can pitch. A veteran out of Osaka, Japan. Played the Japanese leagues there, where in 8 years he was 97 and 67 with a 2.39 ERA. So credentials to come over to the States, and he has backed it up. He's had a nice career.
See Joe Panic this year, 4 for 10 during the spring. He would never publicly make a statement like, you know, I really do want to lead off, but I think he would really like to lead off.
Yeah, I think he would like to really lead off. Really.
Belt on deck. And a foul, make it 0-2.
You know, I mean, this generation, the stolen base has kind of gone by the wayside. So I don't think that's really a prerequisite to be a leadoff hitter anymore. Getting on base, that's the prerequisite.
And run scored. Oh, and 2. And the pitch is down low. And the 1-2, and it's in the dirt. A one-hopper.
Almost hit him in the foot. Yeah, I watch Panic put his swing together in spring training, and he always seems to think the opposite way. And at times during the year, if he gets into a little bit of a funk, he thinks left field. I mean, that's pretty much the same way that you went about it. Are a lot of guys like that?
Well, I think a lot of guys are like that early in camp because their timing isn't very good. But Sometimes it slips away from him during the season. There's a ground ball to second. Utley will make the play, so Panic's retired.
Let's look at the Dodger defense playing today, starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Peterson, Taylor, then Puig, probably the best arm in the National League. Hernandez and Forsythe, they'll be on the left side of the infield. Utley and Bellinger on the right side. Yasmani Grandal, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Belt. Dodgers will throw out the overshift for Belt. Belt this spring, 5 hits, 13 at bats.
I think Maeda's trying to hit somebody in the foot.
Yeah, he's been close a couple of times.
Belt's feet are so big, they're hard to miss.
Yeah, he's what, 15, 16s?
Yeah, something like that. If you filled it full of soup, you couldn't eat the whole meal.
And a pop-up. Peterson did not see it, but it's not going to be Peterson. It's going to be the third baseman, Forsythe, who makes a great play.
What a great play that was.
Actually, I think that was Kike Hernandez who made the play. He plays center field sometimes too, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, he could play center field and shortstop. Not many guys can make that claim. This is just an exceptional play. I think he realized that he was the guy. Battle in the sun, wind, and watch him come back to the high over backhander, overhead backhander. Beautiful.
That's a nice play. Here's McCutchen. Now the Dodgers are going to ask Utley to move to the left side of the second base bag. And McCutchen takes one right down the pipe. Yeah, Bruce Bochy is going to join us for a half inning in the top of the second, as McCutchen takes down low. McCutchen just 2 for 5 during the spring. See, to his right is Chris Berman, longtime friend of the Giants, of Brian Sabian, longtime friend of the Giants organization, and he is part of the staff today. And there's a pitch down low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's the manager. Went out and exchanged lineup cards with Dave Roberts before the game. He's got to get kicked out of the game today, doesn't he?
No, I don't think it's going to happen, although we certainly suggested it to him. McCutchen taps it foul. It's 2-2.
McCutchen, 31 years old, 9-year veteran, and he's done just about everything in the game. MVP, 5-time All-Star, Silver Slugger Award winner, Gold Glove Award winner. Last year he was part of that World Baseball Classic team. It's not very hard for me to get used to him in the Giants uniform, I got to tell you.
Not at all. And he stays alive.
Watch the ball come off the ground on a bounce and where it hits him. It hits right under the brim of his helmet. Maybe it glanced off his forehead a bit.
Bellinger way off the bag at first. He's the lone defender on the right side. And this is hit on the ground to third. And Forsythe to Bellinger to end the inning. Bruce Bochy is going to join us when we come back. It's 1-0 Dodgers.
And here you have it.
ticket member for the 2018 season, you can choose your very own seat location at Select a Seat Day. It's at AT&T Park on Saturday, March 10th at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Outstanding seats are still available in premium locations, and we'll match up with season ticket partners for half-season plans. You want more information? Call 415-972-2298, and you can talk to a sales rep.
And we can talk to Bruce Bochy. Skipper, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Good. It's good to see you guys.
All right. Here's Jock Peterson facing Samardzija. Swing. Gonna miss. You're a grandpa.
Yeah. I had big news about a month ago. We're so excited. Braxton, he's the best. We're having a lot of fun with him, although I'm here now. But, Mama's with him in the Bay Area. So they're enjoying, our first grandson, and we're having a great time with him.
That's
you
foul.
hooked it.
That's
I
foul.
tell you what, the ball is going to fly to right field today, though. So I'm
It
hoping.
was flying yesterday.
Yeah, we hit 9 homers in 2 games, and I'm hoping we get some balls in the air to right field today.
Hey, that'd be nice to get used to something like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, you guys know I like homers. Yeah, especially 3-run ones. So anyway,
Here's the 0-2 to Peterson.
Skipper, we're just going to ask you one time about your health. The fans ask us all the time. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I couldn't be more excited about how the procedure went in October. This AFib thing. It's just more of a nuisance, but you have to take meds and all that. I'm off everything, and I just feel great. I just feel like I used to, and so that's good news. I'm working out and doing all the things I normally do right now.
It's 1-2 to Jock Peterson. We're with Giants manager Bruce Bochy. It's a 1-0 lead for the Dodgers here in the top of the 2nd inning, and the 1-2 pitch to Peterson, and it's
Good pitch.
Strike 3 call. Skipper, you said something early in camp, and maybe you said it to everybody in camp when they got here, and you said basically last year was unacceptable.
Right.
And you wanted guys to step up, some of the guys that are in their late 20s, to start making a move.
Right.
And I hopefully you're seeing that a little bit.
Yeah, and I am. We're too good to let what happened last year happen. But you know what? We own it, and we're not going to look back very long. But you do learn from your failures, your mistakes, and let's learn from them. And we talked about some things that we need to do different. But and I told him, I said, I'm going to do all I can, but I'm going to need you guys to step up and take ownership to doing things right, doing them better, and finding a way to get back to being who we are. And I just love the vibe in camp. The guys have been great. They've been getting after it. These fundamentals, they can get routine and mundane, but the focus has been there. And don't look at the numbers so much on what's happened this spring, especially with the pitching, because the guys that we're looking at really that will probably break with us are throwing the ball very well, I think.
Coach, one of the questions you've been asked a lot all winter long is about your lineup. How are you going to set these guys up? How long does it take you in spring training to put together that formula? How are you going to set your lineup?
Well, I have a pretty good idea on what I'm going to do, but it can change halfway through the spring. These guys, they will help determine what this lineup will be. But I like Joe somewhere at the top of the order. You look at Belt; he's an on-base guy, and we've won table setters up there for McCutchen, Posey, and Longoria. So that's really the mix I'm looking at more than anything. And what our new additions are going to do is stretch out this lineup. So now you look at the back end of the order, we're going to have some pretty good hitters back there, determine where I'm going to hit Crawl, and of course what happens in center field. And Pence, he's a swing guy. He could be a guy that could hit 5th or 6th, or against lefties, move him at the top of the order because of his numbers.
This is Austin Barnes. And a guy like Duggar, if all of a sudden he shocks everybody and makes the team, that throws out of whack maybe what you were thinking about before he makes the team.
Oh, no question. And he's got a chance to make this club. We're giving him a lot of playing time. He's a gifted defender. The hitting part, he's going to be a good hitter, but that's the area that we got him.
And you can credit Hundley for making a great play, digging that one out on the backhand.
For a catch, I mean, that's as good as it gets there. I mean, that's an in-between hop, Pickett, and runner did the right thing, thinking he wouldn't catch it. But I'm sorry, I forgot what I
we were talking about Duggar.
Yeah, Duggar, he's intriguing because the defense he's going to bring speed. He's got discipline at the plate. And for a young hitter trying to make it in the major leagues, if they have the discipline that he does, that works. Because he's going to find a way to get on base and work pitchers. So we're taking a good hard look at him.
We were talking who he reminds you of.
Well, guy I had for a few years, Steve Finley, and just not in his style of play, left-handed hitter, and a great defender, but the way he looks, I mean, he looks like Steve Finley's kid. I saw Finn's about 2 weeks ago. I said, I know I'll see you in spring training. I need you to come by the office. You need to meet this kid who is being compared to you, and because they are, as far as talent, they both are good runners, good ball players, smart ball players, and they're built the same.
Here's Kike Hernandez. All right, we'll touch on a couple of guys. Are you looking forward to Melanson pitching in a game?
I am. He's throwing the ball very well in the backfield and live BP, so he's ready to go. And so I just think he's put this pronator syndrome behind him, and he's feeling good about where he's at right now. And it's going to be good to get him on this main field pitching. Today you'll see Watson. I look forward to watching him today. He's the guy that's made this bullpen a lot better, trust me. And he's a real pro, and but great stuff to go with it. So, the back end of our bullpen should be tough if they do what they're capable of doing.
Did you mention to Bumgarner not to peak too soon?
Yeah. You know what? He came in camp with a little different look, didn't he? I mean, just physically, but he came to Fan Fest, and he's not happy about what happened last year. And so it's good to see him, show some leadership and just how he leads by example, and how he goes about his business, how he takes care of himself, and he's throwing the ball very well right now.
Well, with all the publicity to Ohtani, has he asked you for more at bats?
No, he wanted to DH today. Trust me. He said, "Wait a minute, you were going to bring Ohtani here, have him hit over me." So I went through that with him already.
And that pitch is high to Kike Hernandez. Oh, it's just great watching. You saw him as a baby, and he's not a baby anymore. We're talking about Bumgarner.
No, he's not, and he's picked some players to work with this spring. Beatty has been following him around. He's got a way of toughen up these guys, and so that's what I'm looking for from Bum too. Not just what he brings on the field, but he's here, to provide some leadership now. He's not a baby anymore. You're right. So he's one of our guys. He's our opening day pitcher, and I know he's just primed for a good year.
It's 3-2 to Kike Hernandez. Barnes will take off. He goes, and this is popped straight back and out of play. I also imagine that Buster Posey's kind of chomping at the bit to get out there.
He is. I talked to him today, and he's feeling a lot better with that ankle, and so once we get through this day off on Tuesday, I think he'll be ready to go. And I'm sure he's starting to feel it a little bit, as far as maybe starting to get a little bit behind, but we have plenty of time to give him his at bats. And
well, everybody walked off the field.
Yeah,
including Kike Hernandez, who thought it was a strike.
Yeah, I can't yell what I want to yell right now. We're on air, but yeah. So anyway, Boomer, go get him. Don't get thrown out. I'm back to work.
Well, I think it probably was a strike. Hey, this allows me to ask you this one question. Explain to our fans what you mean by slow play with some of these guys.
Well, certain guys have had a little history of, come up with little aches and pains in a certain area. For example, Crawford, his arm. In the early part of spring, it takes him a little while to get the arm ready. Longoria, very similar. So, we just break them in a little bit easier. We know the number of at-bats they need. So that's why we slow play them. Cueto, he's not one guy to come in camp that's thrown 5 or 6 bullpens. Now, as far as his conditioning, it's better than you think. Trust me. But as far as the arm, you know, we slow play him a little bit because you know, he takes a couple extra pens because he believes in spring training being his time to get ready, because he knows he's you know, looking to pitch 200 innings. He doesn't want to spend a lot of those innings before he gets to camp, and so that's why we slow play some of these guys. Now other guys, I want to throw out as many at bats as I can because I think they need it. And you know, Belt, he missed a lot of time, so he's already been out there quite a bit. This is back-to-back days for him.
Well, I want you to know that Mike and I have used the slow play thing for a long time in spring training.
Yeah, well, they kept waiting for me to pick it up, and I never did either. So trust me, I know that feeling. But you know what, you have to be careful. You don't, as you mentioned with Baum, you don't want to peak too early here. You know, you gotta, you know, make sure you keep these guys healthy. My job is to have them ready opening day, and you know, just set to go. We want to come out of shoot fast and furious, and I don't want guys a little burned out because we overplayed them here this spring.
Is it a bit different this spring, Boch, in that you have Hensley Mullins organizing the daily grind and the daily routine for you, as opposed to Ron Wotus, who had done it the previous 11 years for you?
You know what, Krug, it is a little different. You know, Bam Bam's doing a nice job. You know, he's thorough, and he gets here early, and he wants to make sure that you know, this thing is running right. And, he's gotten a lot from Ron Wotus. He's helped him in that area, but you know, he's his own guy, and of course, you know, I tell him what I want when you know, I'm trying to get done that day, and you know, I'll give him a lineup. But no, he's excited about this new role, and change is good sometimes, and I think it's been good for Bam Bam.
All right, Skipper, we'll let you go. See if you can help Samardzija get out of this mess. And thanks a lot for stopping by.
Guys, good talking with you.
You got it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Skip. Here's Utley with the bases loaded. And Utley drives this one into left center field. And making the catch is Duggar. And that's going to end the inning. He got a great jump. Forget about the catch. He got a great jump. And there he is. He might make the team. All right, he made the team. 1-0 Dodgers.
And get up to 50% off and huge doorbuster deals starting now.
One nothing Dodgers. Is Evan Longoria is going to lead things off, followed by the Panda and then Jared Parker. Longoria hit an opposite field home run yesterday. in this ballpark. A couple of hits.
He's a big guy, 6'1", 220.
Yeah. He's a lot bigger than I thought. They're all a lot bigger than I thought. They all grew in the offseason, every one of them. This is skied into center field with something behind it, but it's going to be Taylor. Pablo Sandoval's coming up. And our big play is brought to you by your Northern California mini dealers. It was the last day of the season, October 1, and Pablo Sandoval hit a walk-off against the Padres. And when you hit a walk-off, that means your team won, and it sent everybody home after a miserable season. And he takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
That was a good mini big play.
It was. Samardzija's got 50 pitches, so it may be that he's done.
Yeah, I gotta believe he's done.
And a shot up the middle, and it's past Kike Hernandez, and that's a 1-out base hit and the first hit for the Giants.
That was a loud swing of the bat, and there's been a lot of loud contact off his bat.
Well, you can stream the Giants on the go. Great news, Giants fans. Once again this season, you'll be able to stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or mobile device. Giants game streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app. So here's Parker.
Big year for Jared Parker, who really suffered some really tough injuries last year. The biggest one, a broken clavicle that he sustained running into the wall at AT&T. But I mean, he's one of those guys. He's 29 years old, and I mean, he wants to be healthy. He wants to make his move.
Well, he was supposed to spend some time in winter ball, and then that didn't work out health-wise. Hundley's on deck. And the pitch is down low, blocked nicely by Grandal. Lots and lots of power.
Yeah, when we first saw Jared Parker, he was thin-legged, lanky. You can't say that anymore. And he's filled that frame out. He's a big fella, lots of power. Got 2 years in the big leagues.
Healthy rip on a 2-0 pitch. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Tony Watson is in the bullpen getting loose. That'd be our first chance to see Tony Watson in a Giants uniform. Up again out of play. It's 2-2.
Heard Bruce Bochy mention that you're going to see some balls carrying to right field today. And if you're a left-handed hitter with power like Parker is, I mean, you want to take advantage of it. I got to take. You don't have to pure it to get it out to right field. Let's put it that way. Get that thing up in the air, a little backspin. The way the wind's blowing, it's going to go.
Yeah, it's blowing hard out to right field. So Sandoval at first with 1 out. The bottom of the second. And that's pulled on the ground foul. Everything started in spring training a week earlier than normal. And that's primarily because the season's going to start about a week earlier than normal. It'll still end about the same time, but remember the players wanted more days off, and they're going to get that during the regular season. Swing and a miss. Parker's gone. Remember the Giants only had 2 days off last year at home. And that's not enough.
So they're going to have more than that in the month of April this year. But it is more player friendly. Days off are obviously significant, but also getaway days now are all going to be day games. And I think that's a good thing.
It is a good thing. Here's Hundley. Normally you would have to make a request. In other words, if the Giants wanted to fly home after a day game in New York on getaway day, they would have to ask the Mets. And actually, this is not an example. They would ask the Mets and they would say no.
We saw it last year with Atlanta.
So you're going to miss.
Giants were there on a Thursday. They wanted a day game. They wanted to play a night game. They had to fly all the way back to San Francisco for a Friday night game.
So here's what April looks like. There are tickets available, so check out a game in March or April. Dodgers, see the Dodgers a lot. 0-2 pitch to Hundley. Down the right field line, a long run for Puig. Puig likes these plays, but he's going to have to come up a little short. It remains 0-2.
I wish we could have a microphone, or I should say some sort of a gadget that would tape and record all of the things that are said to Yasiel Puig by the Giants fans out in right field. It would make for great reality TV.
It would.
Because they let him have it, I think more so than anybody.
Oh, and 2 to Nick Hundley.
That makes me smile.
He fouls it back. He got a piece.
There comes a point in time if you're a player like that, and I remember when 1982 I played with Pete Rose, he would get quite a response when we would go around the league and play in visiting cities, and he would always say, if they're not booing you, you're not good. But when you're getting booed by your rival, like Puig is by the Giants fans, I think if you ever come to the ballpark and you're out there playing and you're not getting booed at or heckled, it would be odd.
Very odd. Swing and a miss. Maeda strikes out Hundley. 2 strikeouts here in the second. Third inning coming up. It remains 1-0 Dodgers.
I'm a Giant season ticket member, and you can check out the view from these new seat locations that were just released.
Look at
lower box section 102, row 13, seats 9 and 10. Bleacher section 138, row 12, seats 11 and 12.
Look at that.
Arcade section 150, row 3, seats 5 through 8. So call 415-972-2298 to speak with a Giants rep, or you can go to sfgiants.com/season tickets for more info. The number again, 415-972-2298.
I'd take dibs on the arcade.
Yeah, there are no bad seats. There are no bad seats.
So Tony Watson is the new pitcher. It's 1-0 Dodgers. And it'll be Cody Bellinger. He's going to face all his old teammates from last year. Kind of slings it. And it's high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Watson, lanky, 6'3", 220. This is what he did last year with Pittsburgh and the Dodgers. 7-4 with a 3.38 ERA. Got a little crossover step, so it will make you give a bit if you're hit from the left side. It's got kind of a low 3/4 release. It's a couple different types of breaking ball. Still running up there well.
No, not close. It's 3 balls and no strikes.
But you know, he's not a loogie, a left-handed one out guy. I mean, there was a time when he was a closer with the Pirates. 15 saves for him in 2016, 10 last year.
Hey, we got the Shark. Shark, you hooked up?
I'm here.
All right, how'd you feel?
Felt all right. Felt better as we went along there a little bit.
I like the changeup.
Yeah, how about that, huh? Been working out a little bit, new curveball grip, so you know, working on a few things. We'll get that fastball location going and get that slider in the zone. We'll feel a lot better.
Hit pretty well into the gap, and who's going to get there? It's going to be Duggar, who tracks it down. 1 out.
Shark, how you like that kid Duggar out there in the outfield?
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Anytime you have someone out there go get the ball, makes my job a whole lot easier. So, you know, that's such an important part of the game up the middle. Center field, short second. Obviously, we got the catcher, short second on lock, so we're not worried about that. But, you know, it's good to see someone out there in center running that ball down and having fun doing it, man. It looks like it's real natural for him, and he plays the ball real well in the air.
Here's Puig. Puig with a double in the first inning. Up the middle, and he's 2 for 2.
Jeff, one of the things that you talked about in the offseason was the importance of getting off to a good start. Talk to us about why that's important.
Yeah, I mean, I just think with what we had last year, you know, I think it's going to be important for us just to come out and take every game, you know, like it's a late in the season game. You know, we have the veteran guys to have that mentality, and we've been around long enough to where it shouldn't be, you know, that big of a difference. But I just think we need to put a little more emphasis on, you know, that first month and just coming out of the gates hot and winning some series and just getting off on the right foot. And I think momentum was a big thing for us last year in the negative sense. You know, we just never really built any momentum up and never got rolling from the beginning. So I think we need to create that ourselves. And, you know, we've been doing great things here in camp with the team, and, you know, going to hockey games and, you know, playing golf as a team. Everybody's been doing things together, and Boach really stressed that from day one. So we want to make sure we listen to that and take it to heart, because, you know, that's what it's about, is going out there and fighting for each other and doing it every day.
Yeah, it doesn't really hurt if you're sitting in the offseason, as this is hit well to right, and with the wind blowing in that direction, that's gone. So Grandal with an opposite field home run, and it's 3-1. Grandal, who spent last year catching Watson, caught up to that one, and he went the other way. So it's 3-1.
Watch the opposite field approach. Takes a little fastball. It had a little cut to it, but it was up. And the one thing that Grandal is trying to do this spring is be a better hitter from the right side. And when you're going the opposite way, even on a windy day, that's a nice at bat.
I believe I said 3-1. It's 3-0. We're talking to Jeff Samardzija. So you're in the offseason, and you see that your organization picks up McCutchen, picks up Longoria, picks up this guy Watson, and that's got to make you feel pretty good.
Oh, excited. You know, it's you know, to see what this team went and did in the offseason just gives you a lot of excitement and you know, really makes you look forward to the season. You know, it could have went two different ways, right? And obviously it went the way we all wanted it to. And you know, we're here to win. We're ready to win right now. And I think by adding those 2 guys, it really puts us in a great situation to have a nice full season and be right there in the fall and get ready to go for a late run. So, you know, those guys are great, man. Getting to know Kutch and getting to know Longo and AJ. You know, what a great threesome we brought in, and really looking forward to, you know, getting to know them more as camp goes on and get this season going.
Is it more fun for you to be in a clubhouse with a lot of veterans?
Absolutely. It's kind of like it's 06, 07 around here. So we're enjoying it, man. It's great to have a whole bunch of guys that know their role and know their routine and what they do and what they need to do to get ready. And, you know, it kind of takes all that out of it. And, you know, the get to know part, we just kind of skip right past and just get into just being a team. So we're going to keep going and see what happens.
Panic is going to make the play, and a nice play, 2 down. I heard from my partner. He said that he chatted with you before the game, and you had a chance to take a trip this winter. How was that? How did that go?
Oh, it was
with
great.
Child or without?
Well, when we go overseas, usually we go solo.
Yeah.
Let the in-laws watch the little
Pretty good
man.
move.
You know, when he's a little older, we'll culture him up a little bit and take him with us. But we took him to Hawaii. He loves the beach. Go figure, a 2-year-old that loves the beach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, tough life for that kid.
Well, when his dad's nickname is the Shark, you know, look.
You got to feel protected, don't you?
For sure, yeah. He calls me Jeff, though, so I think he's got a little attitude. I need a little attitude adjustment here along the way.
Well, how was Paris?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was unbelievable. You know, we just cafe hopped. We were supposed to do in Paris. Did nothing. We drank some fine wine, some Bordeaux, if you will. Just enjoyed it, man. We walked around. My wife's been there a handful of times, so kind of used her as my guide. And, you know, got to know the French a little bit. It's kind of fun. They just think I'm Zlatan, so, you know, what are you going to do?
Here's the 1-1 to Forsythe, and it's a strike, 1 and 2.
No, ball players in spring training are scouts. You're looking around the franchise to see what you have coming up from the minor leagues. Are there any young arms that have impressed you so far in spring?
Yeah, I mean, not to mention, you know, what Strat and Blocky have done so far and the way they look. You know, that's pretty unbelievable. Then you go past that and see what Suarez and Beatty and how they look. I'll tell you what, man, we're going to have some tough decisions here. I don't personally, but the coaching staff and the front office do. I know we don't have too many spots, but a lot of guys that are hungry to get on this team and have improved from last year, too. So, you know, I'm sure they're going to let them play it out here in camp and kind of go from there. But I'm really, really excited, you know, about those 4 guys, especially me being a starter. You know, I get to see them the most. So, you know, the way Osich has been throwing the ball, too, has been outstanding. So we've got a lot of great guys, a lot of great arms, and I'm really excited to not only see how this camp goes, but excited to have our depth as the season goes on, because you're going to need those guys even if they don't break camp with you at the beginning.
Here's Austin Barnes as Forsythe picks up his 2nd hit. Yeah, it's amazing how if you don't have depth, you find out that you really, really need it. And this team is going to be pretty deep.
Yeah, no doubt. You don't know how important depth is until you don't have it, right? Especially pitching. You know, I went through a couple teams early in my career where, you know, it was lacking. And I'll tell you what, that summer gets real long. That fall gets real long. And, you know, when you're just trying to find outs here and there, that's no fun. And you really rely on your offense too much. So we're going to rely heavily on this pitching staff. Coach said that early in camp, too. So we need to pitch and play defense and win games like that, win 1-2 run games, and, you know, keep those numbers down.
So it's 0-2. All right, Shark, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And nice job today.
Thank you.
Giants' number 3 starter.
He looks like he's ready for another 200-plus inning season. He's in great shape.
And just a bit high, 1 and 2.
You know, you get mad when you're a pitcher and you throw a pitch that's close and you don't get it. But in spring training, long innings, I mean, you would think there's never a good time for a long inning, but long innings aren't bad. They get you stronger. You're digging deep to get out of an inning.
And Sandoval will go the short way, and they're going to say Panic is off the bag. So Forsythe slides in safely. That'll be an error on An error on Sandoval, and that'll bring up Hernandez.
Well, so far they've given the Dodgers 4 outs this inning.
Well, you said that's a good thing, so I'm okay with that.
It is, because you don't like ever to have a rough inning, but if you're going to have one, have it in spring training. But the point I'm making is, when you have an inning where you go 20-25 pitches, you need to build up strength. He got him, his toe touched, he's out.
It's a replay when we need it. Hernandez takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Anyway, go ahead.
But that's how you make your big strength gains. And you ask any pitcher that just cruises through spring and never has a rough outing, he doesn't trust it. First time you get into an inning where you're in the stretch for 25+ pitches, you're not going to have anything.
2-0.
Because right now, Watson, he's strung out. I mean, his arm strength is, once you get a little stringy, you lose command and you start to sling. So he is really trying to make the adjustments to get in the strike zone and control it.
Pop up out of play. That was pitch number 25.
Well, pitching coaches, I'll tell you, it's not much fun going through it, especially when you're in a full house and you're playing your rival, but you will have some good games. You'll be stronger your next outing. Your arm doesn't get strong until you break it down. You got to break it down 5-6 times in spring.
Parker. Duggar. Giants are coming up. Duggar's going to lead things off.
LP. Aggressive, accessible, experienced tax attorneys. Call Moskowitz LLP at 888-TAX-DEAL.
It is 3-0 Dodgers as Steven Duggar is going to lead things off. Duggar, Tomlinson, and then Joe Panik. Bottom of the third. Giants have 1 hit, and that was a solid single by Pablo Sandoval in the 2nd inning.
He hit last year, 302. A lot of different locations. That's something you want to touch upon too. For a guy like Duggar, you start off the year off at A-ball, then you go up to AA, AAA. I mean, it's not an easy thing. I mean, there's a lot of transition. There's a lot of meeting new teammates, trying to get comfortable. And through it all, you hit over 300.
High drive to right. And gone. And it's 3-1. Like I said, it's 3-1.
Yeah. And Giants fans, I think you're going to love this kid. A little bit of hang time on that breaking ball from Maeda, and he does what you're supposed to do with hangers. And that was over the pavilion in right field. That was a long potato.
It looks like Steve Finley.
He's a big guy, 6'2", 190 pounds.
Tomlinson down the right field line. Fair foul. Foul.
Take a look. Backspins it. Puig took about 4 steps to his right and went, nah, I don't think so.
That's his 3rd this spring. And we've got what? 75% of spring training left?
Well, that's significant, because one thing that Bruce Bochy does not trust are the first 7 to 10 days. The hitters will, put up big numbers and whatnot. If you do it the last 7 to 10 days, it's a little more impressive in his eyes. But when you're Steven Duggar and you're trying to impress to win a job, he's doing what he needs to do now. He's opening up the eyes of everybody.
Plus, it helps. I mean, he didn't hit it off a guy nobody's ever heard of.
Maeda, I mean, look, the Giants had 1 single prior to that home run off this guy.
Foul behind Ron Wotus.
Players don't like to hear that. They don't like to hear that 4 home runs hit the first week doesn't mean the same as hitting 4 home runs the last week. But it's the reality of the game. First week is spring training play. Pitchers don't have their command. They don't have a feel of all their pitches. They do the last week.
Got him.
Changeup and a good one. 3rd strikeout for Maeda. So it goes down as a strikeout for Tomlinson. And this is how close it was to him having a double, maybe a triple with his speed. Oh, well, if you're Tomlinson, you say, all right, that's fine. But I want that fair when the season starts.
Dave Roberts makes a pitching change. We'll let you know who it is when we come back.
Copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Francisco Giants Baseball Club, LLC.
Here at Scottsdale Stadium, it's 3-1 Dodgers. Brian Moran is the new pitcher. Lefty against lefty. And Panic shoots it into right field, a base hit. He's having a good spring.
Yeah. Well, that's swinging the bat. He's saying, I got your left-handed side armor. He wasn't waiting around either. Figured that Moran was going to get in that strike zone early, and he was waiting for it. No stride from Joe Panic, just a little toe tap and go. Head stays very still. So Moran will work out of the stretch with a runner on.
Here's Belt. Belt popped out to Kike Hernandez, who made a great play down the left field line. And a sweeping curveball to Belt that started out at the right hip of Belt, and it's no balls and a strike.
Yeah, Moran's no baby. This is his 9th year professionally. He's never been in the big leagues.
Time to move.
He's having a good spring. That's the first hit he's given up in 3 2/3 innings. But I think you could tell that his future's on the side. Big, lanky, 6'4", 220-pounder with a sidearm delivery.
All about deception. Overshift is on. And tight. And a strike. The Dodgers take the third baseman and move him to the right side, leaving the shortstop to play short. It's not a bad idea.
No, I agree with that. Don't mess with your shortstop.
McCutchen on deck.
You know what amazes me about spring training? I mean, we're seeing shifts right now, but everybody knows Brandon Belt. Pretty much how you play this guy. He's a big leaguer established. It's in spring training, the first week or 2 weeks of spring training, where you're facing a lot of guys with numbers 88, 95, and they get up there, and maybe you haven't heard their name, but they get in there, take their bat, you look out, and the defense has a shift on these guys.
Yeah, you're right.
It gives you an idea of the database that baseball has on everybody.
Belt takes in tight, so he works it to 3-2. Belt will go 3-2 more than any other hitter in this Giants lineup throughout the course of the season.
You know, that reminds me of JT Snow. He was that way, automatic 3-2 count. But Belt, I mean, that's one of his strengths as a hitter, is his eye and his knowledge of the strike zone.
See if Panic goes. He does not, and Belt takes the walk.
Great at bat.
It was a good at bat because Belt was way behind in the count.
I mean, his big league total, I mean, he's got a 360, almost a 360 lifetime on base percentage. That's outstanding.
Here's McCutchen. Bruce Bochy was saying McCutchen can do a Hunter Pence batting stance impression better than Hunter Pence.
It's a good one. I mean, if you use social media, you can find it easily.
Breaking ball for a strike.
And it is hysterical. And that's really one of the cool ways that players can make fun of one another and tease in the clubhouse. But players are totally comfortable with it. And really, when you think about it, it's a great compliment.
Yeah. Panic and Belt are aboard with one out.
Matt Williams was that way. I mean, he can impersonate anybody.
Uh-oh. Grandal with a visit. It's going to hurt Grandal this year when they start keeping track of these because he goes out a lot.
He gets 6. I mean, that's it.
Well, the team gets 6.
The team gets 6. Well, I think that's a great rule. I do. I do think they're going to have to tweak it down the road. But you're putting a lot of pressure on the umpire because he does have the discretion to add a 7th or an 8th. Mound visits with a pitching change shall be limited to 6 per team per 9 innings. 1 additional visit per coach each extra inning played. And that's a significant deal. I mean, last year we and the definition of a mound visit, manager or coach can talk to a pitcher. A player leaving a position can talk to a pitcher. A catcher, if a team runs out of visits, the home plate umpire can, upon request of the catcher, allow another visit. And the one thing they're worried about, too, is guys getting crossed up. But, you know, my point is you don't have to go from your catching position to the mound to change signals. That's something you can talk about the game. Say your signs are first sign after a 2. Now, that's obviously a simple form, but a lot of guys use it. Now, if you think somebody's stealing at second base or base runner, have a sign where it flips over to the third sign.
McCutchen high and foul and out of play.
Instead of first sign after 2, make it the first sign after a 3. But have that so as a catcher you can walk out in front of home plate, give a sign that alerts not only the pitcher but the middle infielders. That changes the set of signs and it eliminates a mound visit.
Veteran pitchers don't like mound visits anyway.
No, they don't.
So I think it's a good thing. It's 2-2.
Well, we were seeing some pitching coaches that were getting out and having 5, 6 mound visits during a game. That's ridiculous.
Two and 2 to McCutchen. Giants on the board here in the 3rd on the Duggar home run. McCutchen waiting patiently, finally stepped out. Out of play.
Oh, he had a pitch to hit. Pitch above the belt, out over the plate. If you're thinking about power with this guy, does he have it the opposite way? Indeed, he does.
Longoria is on deck. Down low, Grandal a fake throw. It's 3-2.
Grandal's got a good arm, and he didn't mind showing it off either.
Grandal, his home run is the difference in this game. He hit an opposite field home run in the top of this inning. Runners go. Swing and a miss. The throw to third is high, and it's a double steal.
Looks like Grandal got out of the squad.
They're going to say McCutchen interfered, so they're going to send the runners back.
There wasn't the normal quickness we see Grandal get rid of the ball, so there was something that was bothering him. Take a look at the swing and what happens after the swing.
So the bat hit Grandal.
I think it hit him on the left forearm. No, it hit the glove. But that could definitely upset the timing of a release for a catcher.
So here's Longoria. So Moran gets the strikeout.
It's one of the biggest strikeouts in his life, at least in professional baseball. I know it's spring. This is this kid's 9th year in organized baseball, and he's never played at the big league level. And striking out a guy like McCutchen with 2 men on, that's a big deal.
In the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. Longoria hit a fly ball to fairly deep center field that was caught in the 2nd inning. Bottom of the 3rd. Glad you joined us this afternoon. Hope the weather is nice back in the Bay Area. When we left a couple of days ago, it was raining.
Well, for some people.
When Mike left Reno, he was getting dumped on by little bitty snowflakes.
Oh, man. Were we ever? It's great. I mean, if you like to, if you're a snowboarder, you like to ride, or you like to ski, the snow has arrived,
eventually, like water.
Yeah. If you're a farmer, you like water.
It's 3-0 to Longoria.
There was no snowpack now. It was a great storm.
We need a few more there.
They're coming. Winter's coming. It doesn't matter that it's happening in March.
Right down the pipe to Longoria.
Hey,
it's 3-1.
Next Sunday, you know what happens? Daylight savings.
That's next Sunday?
Yeah.
So that means Arizona and California will have the same time.
Yeah.
On the ground to third. And Forsythe will step on the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Steven Duggar, who's trying to make this team, he has made an impression this spring, and he made one today. And that's a solo home run. It's bye-bye, baby. It's 3-1.
That's right, kids opening day. It's a 4:15 starting time for that game. Pre-game kids will have an autograph session, and post-game kids are going to get to run the bases. The first 20,000 fans through the gates are going to receive a Kutch 22 t-shirt. So take advantage of our kids opening day ticket offer. 2 tickets for only $22. Go to sfgiants.com/Kutch22 to purchase. I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to get that.
We'll get you one. It's 3-1 Dodgers, as Derek Law is the new Giants pitcher here in the 4th inning. Looks good in that uni. Here's Chris Taylor, and the first pitch is a high strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Taylor up for the 3rd time. He popped out to panic in the 1st, and then he drew a walk in the 2nd. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. So there's the numbers for Derek Law.
Well, this is a significant spring for Law. I mean, last year he hit on a few hard times mechanically.
Foul on the right field line.
Remember, he started out last season, and he really was the guy they wanted to be the closer. And then it just didn't happen. And there was some inconsistency with his release. He started elevating his pitches. He just lost control of the strike zone. He got sent down to Sacramento. And so now he has to impress the Giants that, you know, his mechanical problems are beyond and behind him. When he's right, you're going to see a fastball that's mid-90s. He's got a high over-the-top release with a curveball, slider, changeup. I mean, he's very unorthodox. But being able to command the strike zone, especially the knee-high location, is essential for him.
So back-to-back pitches in the same spot. It's 3-2.
very similar release to Tim Lincecum with a high over-the-top release. But for a guy who has slider, curveball, and a changeup, a lot of downward bite with his stuff, he's a nightmare to catch. You can see a lot of balls in the dirt.
And the walk. Xfinity X1 customers say, show me the San Francisco Giants into your X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Here's Utley. Utley is 0 for 2. Utley was at the plate in the second inning against Samardzija. 2 outs, bases loaded, hit a line drive that the center fielder Stephen Duggar made a lunging forward diving catch to end the inning. Bellinger to follow. And a strike to Utley.
As we mentioned, Utley's still looking for his first hit of spring. And, you know, this is something we've seen a lot from him. Last year, I think there was a time he was 0 for 32 or something ugly. Giants come into Los Angeles, and I think he had 3 hits that night with a homer.
And a strike. It's now 0-2. Utley will take certain pitches, and it'll make you think that he's guessing. But not really such a good idea to guess when you're behind in the count. But some hitters still do. 1-2.
Yeah, he's a guy who's always had a good knowledge of the strike zone, patient. And, you know, he's on top of the plate. Try and jam him, he'll just lean right into it, get hit, take his base. I mean, he's just a baseball player. He's just a hard-nosed baseball player. He was that way with the Phillies. He's that way with the Dodgers. Someday he'll be a coach or a manager, try and pass it on. But he is old school. I mean, there's a lot of macho that goes on between home plate and first base when a guy gets hit. And big leaguers, they just don't rub it. They just don't. They get drilled. They do not want to give the pitcher the satisfaction of knowing that it hurts them.
Here's his first hit, and it's going to be in the gap. And it's likely going to score Taylor. And it is. And Utley is going to stop at second, and it's 4-1.
Right on cue.
So the walk by Law comes right back to bite him.
And, you know, this is the thing we're talking about with Law is location. I mean, he's ahead in the count. He has a chance to just corner pitch with a fastball, throw something nasty that starts out low and drops down in the dirt. Look at the location on this pitch. That is T-ball location. That is right out over the middle. And Utley, who's in a protect mode, I mean, he's not going to miss it. Even when he hasn't had a hit all spring.
It's a good pitch by Law. No balls and 1 strike.
I mean, you're not going to get anybody in the Giants camp that says Law doesn't have good stuff. He's got great stuff. He just needs better command of it.
Comes back with another good pitch, and now it's 0-2. Good play by Hundley. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good 0-2 pitch, back foot breaking ball. 3 pitches, 3 off-speed pitches. And I think Bellinger's going to have to get used to seeing a lot of off-speed stuff this year. He had a great year last year. He did not have a good postseason, especially in the World Series.
Hit into center field for Duggar. Utley's going to tag, and Duggar's throw is going to be a good one, and it's not in time.
Well, our first chance to take a look at Steven Duggar's arm. Gets himself in position. He knows he doesn't have to worry about hitting the cutoff man. He's only got one runner on base, and just a little bit off the bag. The ball definitely beat Utley. Had it been more accurate, they'd have had him.
So now the Giants have pulled the infield in with Yasiel Puig at the plate.
And the challenge is out to Derek Law. This is a strikeout situation here.
Right down the pipe, and it's 0-1.
Good life. I like that call from Hundley. He backed up that first pitch challenge fastball through 94 right through him. Very quickly, 2 fastballs on top 0-2. Tried to go back upstairs, keep climbing that ladder with the fastball. A good pitch.
And the 1-2, and he got him.
Those are 4 quality pitches from Law, and in a strikeout situation, he gets the strikeout.
So when you see that it's in there.
Oh, absolutely, it's in there. You can't throw a better split. I mean, that is filthy dirty. Perfect location, and look at the legs from Puig. They're gone. I mean, he's in a 2-strike position, protecting. And you get a guy get that off balance. He made a great pitch. Almost looks like he's got a little anger behind that fastball now.
Grandal hitting right-handed in the 3rd. Hit an opposite field home run off of Watson. Here he gets jammed, and he just bounces that one in front of the Dodger dugout. It's 0-2. He does look ticked off. Not Grandal, but Derek Law.
That's not a bad way to be if you're Derek Law. Get ticked off. I mean, work up a little hatred in the back of your mind. Go out there and use it to your advantage.
Well, the Warriors and Nets, that'll be on Tuesday at 7:30. An hour-long pregame live will start at 6:30 on NBC Sports Bay Area. Warriors return to Oracle to take on the Nets, also streaming live on the NBC Sports app. If you miss anything about the Warriors this season, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and NBCSportsBayArea.com. 1-2. Let's get to the playoffs.
I know it. I think that a lot of Warrior fans feel the same way.
1-2 pitch. High to Grandal. 2-2.
They're fun to watch, though.
Oh, absolutely. But I'm really getting tired about people saying the Rockets are better. Tired of it. Fouled out of play.
I love it. I love it. Because you know the Warriors are listening to it.
You think that motivates them?
Absolutely.
I think the Rockets are better.
You know what? You ought to be a motivational speaker. I thought that was very good.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Foul back again. So Grandal getting something to hit. Jock Peterson on deck. shot, center field. Duggar, side retired. A run on one, hit and a walk. Giants are coming up 4-1 LA.
Kid's got a great first step.
What you
the first step from Steven Duggar in center field. He's right-handed. He pushes off that right leg and gets a great route to the ball. And for him, this is an easy play. But it's not only the glove that he has shined with today. He also got a hang and breaking ball off of Quinta Maeda. And for the third time this year, he has hit one out of the ballpark. It is all about Steven Duggar today. And that is our Smart Play brought to you by your Northern California Ford dealers.
He played in the Arizona Fall League right here with the Scorpions. So this is his own field.
This is not an easy field to play in spring training in the day and see the ball off the bat. It always has been tough. Center fielders, middle infielders, it's just because of the sun. New pitcher now for the Dodgers is going to be left-hander Henry Owens, 6'6", 220-pounder. Got just about 2/3 of a year at the big league level.
So here's Sandoval, 4-1. So lefty to Sandoval. So we do have some changes. We'll get them to you here in a minute. Sandoval waits in the pitch, and there's a swing. Ain't gonna miss. One ball and one strike. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Verdugo is in right. Solano is now at second base. Will Smith is behind the plate. And Trace Thompson is in center field. But that's not the highlight of this inning. In the dugout is Chris Berman. Boomer!
Boys, an honor to be on with you.
How you doing?
Happy spring training. Aloha.
It's been a long time since you and I were on together.
Yes, you'll tell that story during a rain delay at a 10-1 game, won't you, Kai?
Yes, I will.
Giants vision.
Well, it's great that you're here. You're helping the skipper today. He, by the way, is going to use you as the reason if this game does not go the right way.
Well, look, I gave a speech yesterday.
Sandoval to left, but Peterson will make the catch. Yeah, go ahead about this.
Well, I mean, I gave a speech yesterday, and they hit 9 homers and won 2 games in 3 hours. Now, I thought that was a pretty good day for kind of an honorary bench coach yesterday. Today, though, I can see Maeda was a little tough, but we got time. We got time, but there's a lot to this managing gig, fellas, that I didn't know about.
Yeah, well.
Boomer, you need to get tossed out of this game today at some point.
Well, I did you see me come? I went up the stairs on the play at third a moment ago because I thought that second was a miss. Right? I thought Panic made the play there at second. I wasn't sure about that. We got time. You wanted me to do the Earl Weaver, the turn the hat?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know if this is the place for that. It's an honor to do this today. It's a thrill.
Tell me about going out. We got you taking out the lineup card, talked to Dave Roberts. The umpires, great. I'm sure thrilled to meet you.
Well, hey, look, I'm in uniform, which the thing fits, which is the first good thing. And the Giants, not to overstate it, but you guys well know, and some of your viewers do, they're family to me. And I've never done this, not let alone management, let alone been in a dugout during a game. And you would think I would have, but I haven't until these last couple of days. So Brian Sabian, Boch, they've been in touch with me a lot this year, as you know why. The Giants really all family. Please come to spring training, be with us. And then now this, I didn't audition for this job, but I got time yet. I have a chance to have a better winning percentage than John McGraw if we can pull this out. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Yeah, or a better winning percentage than what they had last year.
Well,
there's this Parker.
I wasn't going to go there, all right?
Hey, if we win today, we're going to have you back.
Well, I cranked it on Duggar's homer. I did. I don't know if he heard it. He was running pretty quick, but we need a few more of those. If you guys ask, I'm sure you have connections here that could make that happen.
Oh, my goodness. So here's Hundley with 2 outs. We're with Chris Berman, who is in town for a couple of days. And it's great to see you. We watched you as much as we could during the AT&T golf tournament, which you seem to go every year.
Well, this year did not. So
you didn't?
No, I know. I should have cued you on that one. For whatever reason, this was a year off from the AT&T, but that's 10, 12 years of thrills. And
hey, we missed you in the sand traps this year.
Well, when I got in, I usually stayed in, but I'm a Maui guy, so of course that's my gig, right? Sand. But I have a swing that keeps people getting back when I hit the ball. You guys sound like you're in mid-season form.
Well, hey, we're an old married couple at this point, so we figure that we could probably do this from the couch.
It's exciting. Well, you probably have.
You don't tell me that you couldn't go with Tom Jackson right now and do a pre or post game show?
We probably could. That one, we had a reunion show, championship game. We did a prime time. Tommy didn't miss a beat. It was awesome. It was like plugging in the toaster. Yeah. You know what I mean?
You guys are great.
We had fun.
You miss doing the nicknames?
Well, I do. I mean, we started, I don't know if you saw it with Ron Wotus and I. We were, when Law was pitching last inning, we went through the whole song. Needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the, you know the song, right?
Absolutely.
The Bobby Fuller 4. So,
there's a bouncing ball foul that stays at 0-2 to Hundley.
I do miss it.
You know what, though? I kept thinking that once you started it, you had to keep it going, and there was probably a little bit of pressure on you.
Well, here's the thing. To be honest with you, you remember in the 80s, not all the games were on. So sometimes we had Kansas City 5, Seattle 2 up there for 2 minutes. You had to liven it up somehow, right?
Absolutely.
So here's a nickname, and it worked. And then here's Bert Be Home by 11. And
my
then
favorite.
Here's John Tonight, Let It Be Lowenstein. and the group, you could relate to that. And then, Vaughn Purple Haze. Then Jim Two Silhouettes on Deshays. And we created a monster.
Did you get help from fans?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And if I read a list, I got lists of 50. From 50 states, Canada, all over. If I chuckled, it was on. Ghostwriters all over. It was awesome.
But as players, we loved it. And we were ticked off if you didn't give us one of those names.
I know. Not to take too much time here because I could do that with the best of them. George Brett and I became friends in the early 80s when he said it was a big game late in the year. He goes, how come you don't have a lot of nicknames for the Royals? And I'm going, geez, George, this is batting practice like it's a pennant game. And I mean, I could go on and on about it. And he says, "What's your nickname?" I said, "Well, I really don't have one." He goes, "Well, come by the locker after the game." And so he had the big hit. It was 6-5, and everyone was around his locker. And in the middle of an answer about, well, the pitch was low and away and I swung or whatever he was saying, he went, "There he is, Ethel Merman Berman, 1982. He and I have been great friends ever since."
Well, I got to tell you, you look better in that Giants uniform than Ethel ever did.
Yeah,
Well,
that's absolutely true.
You eat Big Ethel, right? Ethel Merman or the cartoon character. Well, I feel good in it too. Look, we're all hoping for a nice season. I think we're going to have one, the Giants. You all know, I mean, the division is rough, but they got some real pros down here. It's been fun. And I know Evan Longoria, and I know McCutcheon a little bit, but seeing them in Giant jerseys and seeing what the Giants are trying to do this year and get right back into the thick of things, I think you got to admire the way the team has approached it.
Absolutely. Here's the 1-2 to Huntley in a long at bat, which we appreciate. And it's down low. Our job and the Giants' job is to keep you great Giants fans who live on the East Coast, to keep you up.
Well, I was up all those years. You weren't allowed to mention my name, right? I never understood that. I mean, come on, man. That's a come on, man. Or a whoop. That's one of those, right?
Well, we kept you up, and that was the whole. That was good. The most important.
That was good. You were I'd pay bills or whatever I would do at 12:30 or 1 a.m. in Connecticut and have you guys on. You know that's true.
Yeah, I do. And there were times when you might have been the only one watching, but we knew you were watching.
Well, and we knew you had your purple jacket with you, which was has been our good luck charm for years.
It's still, well, let's put it this way.
Walk to Huntley?
It'll still work, but it was a purple jacket back to the early 90s, as you remember. And it's a silk, beautiful purple jacket, but 25 years later and a lot of dry cleanings, it looks like it's 25 years old, but it's still got that battery power a little bit.
Oh, no
I'll
doubt.
save it for late in the year.
It's magical.
Right, right?
And we knew you when it fit, too.
Hey, you know what I want you to do?
Thanks for that.
You told me something yesterday that hopefully this at bat isn't fast, but your first game was at the Polo Grounds. No, it was at Chase.
No, you're right. No, we'll do it. Let's see where we go here. I'll be quick because it's a wonderful story. So my first time I saw the Giants, I was 8 years old. Okay, I'd gone a couple games at 7, East Coast. The Giants, San Francisco, was playing the Mets at the Polo Grounds. It was my 8th birthday, so my dad, my uncle, 2 station wagons, and 8 8-year-olds, probably for $30 for 10 tickets back in those days, right?
Look out.
Whoa. Other than the cotton candy. So we saw the Giants play, and they won 17-4. Now, why I remember that, I don't know. At 8-year-old, your mind's not cluttered. So I got to here on Friday, and I decided, I looked up and I found the box score in May at some point in 1963 of this 17-4 game. And in that lineup, 55 years ago, Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Felipe Alou, second baseman was Joey Cask of Amalfitano, and the mop-up pitcher was Gaylord Perry. 5 guys from the first time I saw the Giants in person 55 years ago were in the park this weekend.
Is that unbelievable?
No, isn't that cool? I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
That is
great.
unbelievable.
It was awesome.
And you get to touch base with most of them?
I did talk with everyone. I miss Gaylord. I visited with all of them. And it's a thrill. They're the reason I'm a fan, like so many of the listeners the viewers out there. But 55 years? It's 1963.
I know.
And then Felipe, being omnipresent, goes, no, there were 6 people in the park. I was 8, you know. So,
there you go. Yeah,
so that's pretty cool. Kipe, you're not going to relive the story of '89?
I will, but I'm going to do it after we say goodbye because it's such a good one. And we're going to say goodbye right now.
Aloha.
And hey, have fun when you get back to Maui and when you're on the East Coast. Certainly do not turn the volume down if you're watching.
No. I'll see you on the first homestand at some point. I'll be around. You're not done with me yet.
All right, Boomer. Thanks.
Nice being with you, fellas.
You got it.
See you, Boomer.
Love you.
3-1 to Duggar. And it's a walk. So Duggar takes him.
And he dropped some stank eye on him, too.
He did. He dropped the stank eye on Owens.
I mean, Owens threw a fastball right through his ear hole on his helmet. And now you watch a young hitter. Now look, remember, Duggar has a home run in this game. You watch how a guy reacts to that. Does he get antsy? Does he get ticked off and go out of the zone? One of the strengths that Duggar has is he'll work a count. And he worked a walk. That's a great at bat.
And the stank eye, which
I love that guy.
We appreciate little things like that. So Dave Roberts comes out. That was enjoyable talking to Boomer. He's quite the character.
Well, and the tragedy that befell him and his family last year, he lost his wife Kathy in a tragic accident. And today Chris puts on the uniform, number 83, and he chose that number because that's the year that he and Kathy got married.
It's the year they get married. All right, so we're going to take a break. There's 2 outs, runners at first and second, and a new pitcher coming in. The 4th inning. The new pitcher is Yasiel Sierra.
Our first chance to look at him.
Gregor Blanco's going to pinch hit, by the way.
Third game for Sierra. 6 base runners in an inning, 2/3, so he hasn't really settled into the comfort zone in spring yet. But it's a first chance for you and me to see Gregor Blanco back with the Giants after a year in Arizona.
Or, as he likes to say, back home. Those are his words, not ours. High fly ball to right. Verdugo is there, and that's going to end the inning. So 1 pitch, and that will do it. After 4 innings here at Scottsdale Stadium, Dodgers 4, Giants 1.
As of
Brought to you by Lenardi's Markets. For a location near you, visit lenardis.com or find us on Facebook. Lenardi's, quite simply the best.
It's a 4-1 lead for the Dodgers as we head to the 5th. Josh Osich is the new pitcher. We do have other changes.
Third time that Osich has been in a game, and he's been dominant this spring, and he has to be. 2 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, 3 strikeouts. He's had command of everything. Osich has been inconsistent, and that is the concern of the Giants. At times he's been dominant to where you would think he could be a closer, and then other times he has struggled. They want him to be consistent with that great stuff.
Peterson with a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is not a comfortable at bat for left-handed hitters, especially.
No, he's a mid to high 90s fastball with 2 types of movement. He's got a curveball slider and a changeup.
Hit on the ground to Panic. 1 out. So Curt Young is the Giants' new pitching coach. Curt Young spent a lot of years in an A's uniform as a player and a pitching coach.
It is odd to look down the Giants dugout and not see Dave Righetti.
Yeah. Saw him here yesterday. He was a visitor. Dave Righetti. Matt Hergis is kind of the role that Mark Gardner had, the assistant pitching coach. Here's Forsythe, who takes a strike.
Well, one of the challenges for Curt Young and Hedges is, or Hergis rather, is that you've got to get more consistency out of Osich, more consistency out of Okert, the 2 lefties in the Giants pen, and they knew the deal coming in.
One ball and 1 strike. There's a foul back enough to play.
One of the things that Jeff Samardzija said early in our interview with him was, you need to be deep, and it's not just in the rotation. You need to be deep in the bullpen. You need to have arms, because injury is a part of this game. In a 6-month season, and if you're lucky, a 7th-month season, as you get into October, guys are going to go down. Guys that come in to replace them, they need to pick it up. They need to stand tall, answer the challenge.
Well, that was Bruce Bochy, what he said before camp opened. There's a group of guys, and their ages go from 26 to 30. That it's time.
It's time.
It's time.
And Josh Osich is one of those guys.
It'll be Gregor Blanco, who's into the game in center field, who puts it away. Other changes. It'll be Blanco, you just saw. Chris Shaw, another great prospect for the Giants in left field. Calixte goes to short, and Josh Rutledge is at third. 1 out, or make that 2 outs, and here's Austin Barnes. There's Madison Bumgarner, shorter hair, maybe trimmed up the beard a little bit, but he is off to a great start. To right, McCutchen. You'll have to play this one on a hop. And that'll bring up Kike Hernandez. He was 20 years old when he shut out the Texas Rangers in Game 4 of the 2010 World Series. And they were loaded with right-handed hitters.
Everything he did that year in the postseason was remarkable.
There's a called strike.
How about when he goes into Atlanta, having been raised in North Carolina and a Braves fan, and never having pitched in that stadium, Turner Field, until the playoff, and he dealt.
He dealt. Hit to right, McCutchen, and that'll end the inning. So nice inning for Osich. Giants now need to pick up the pace offensively. They trail 4-1.
ticket member. New members will receive a bat signed by Buster Posey and Willie McCovey. Call 415-972-2298. You can speak with the Giants rep or go to sfgiants.com/season. Tickets for more info. Guarantee your seat for every home game. The number again, 415-972-2298.
Wait a minute. A Buster Posey and a Stretch autograph?
Yep.
Wow, the same at bat.
Willie McCovey here today.
So is Buster Posey. So here's panic. We do have multiple changes for the Dodgers. Dodgers lead 4-1. Sierra deals. Panic takes low. 1 for 2. Ramos in left. Beatty at third. Jackson at short. And Rios is at first. And it's interesting that all these guys just going by one name.
That's all they need.
Down low to Panic. 3-0.
60 years Giants have been in San Francisco. This will be the 61st year for Mike Murphy, the legendary clubhouse manager for the Giants, who's now the clubby emeritus. You say, how is that possible? Well, he used to be the bat boy for the San Francisco Seals in 1957.
Murph right now probably watching this game while he's playing the nickel slots in Reno.
It could happen.
Oh, Murph. One of these days,
I know it's
we'll
the greatest
just do
book
the
ever written. It'll never
uncensored
get written.
Murph stories. We'll just the whole game will dedicate it to Murph stories.
Yeah, there's some good ones.
Belt shortens up to bunt. Is that Hansen, the pinch runner? It is at first. Kyle, make that Alan Hansen. One ball to one strike to Belt. So Hansen at first, the leadoff walk. Overshift is on for Belt as Sierra deals, and Belt takes a strike. It's 1-2. Don and Charlie's, who's been the restaurant that's been here for a million years. And all the years that Mike Murphy came down here, he ate every meal at Don and Charlie's. And profits are down this year for Don and Charlie's.
I'm not saying they're not filling Murph's booth, but
Profits are down. They were down last year, too. 1-2 to Belt.
Mike Murphy last year was the first year that he didn't go to spring training.
Right.
So again this year, it is odd walking in the Giants clubhouse not seeing him. Brad Grims has taken Murph's place. He's the new clubby, and he is outstanding. And he's got a new look this year. Brad Grims has a part in his hair.
He does have a part. He's got to pack a comb now for the road. And Belt takes strike 3 call. And Belt will not be happy with that at bat. When Murph would eat it down in Charlie's every day, he ordered the same thing.
Yep. Every day. Well, remember the spaghetti place up in Montreal?
Yep.
Murph would eat every meal there at Pasquale's, and he'd have spaghetti and meatballs every dinner, every lunch, every breakfast. It didn't matter.
Here's McCutcheon. Anyway, Murph, you're watching. We miss you. There's a called strike. We will see Murph when the season starts. And he will be at the ballpark, as he should be. McCutcheon is 0 for 2. He's bounced out and struck out. Rolls this one to third, and a nice play. And Beatty is going to throw the ball a little wide to first, and McCutchen beats it out. Rios came off the bag. So it's not really going to matter whether it's a hit or an error, but it could go either way.
If I ever ask for a replay in spring training, I want you to just reach over and punch me upside the head. Hey, got it right. He was safe.
So it's going to be a hit. And here's Gomez. It'll be Miguel Gomez, who I saw a little bit last year. Mac Williamson is going to pinch run.
Don't need replay in spring training. You don't need extra innings in spring training. Give you one.
Well, look. 10 games in spring training is be good for me.
10 games?
Just games. That's it.
Oh, I was talking about innings.
I know. I'm talking about 10 games.
Well, you're a player. I mean, you need more than that for pitchers.
Simulators. So here's Gomez. Rutledge is on deck.
Roger Craig used to call them. They're not simulators. They're stimulators. Let's go. Strap it on.
Yeah, split squads have taken over for B games. Used to be, if you had to play in the 10 o'clock B game, that was not good.
B games were the greatest thing ever invented. You go get your work in and then be on the golf course by 1 o'clock. It was awesome.
Swinging a foul up against the short fence in front of the Giants dugout. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
I'll tell you one thing, though, that's been great about B games is you are going to get an overview of your organization. You're going to see some young players. And it's great for a number of reasons. One being you get an idea of their talent. Number 2, they get an idea of what it's like to be in the arena.
You're talking about split squads, not B games.
I'm talking about split squads, yeah. I'm talking about the extra games that teams play now. I mean, every weekend you're going to usually have home games every weekend. People coming in all around the valley. Well, you're going to need split games. But it is great for young players. Break the ice, get to know the big league players, hit the comfort zone a little bit. Because when they get called up during the season, you know, it's easy to get overwhelmed. But if you've got a little bit of a relationship with the guys in the clubhouse, you can fit in.
Gomez waves at a pitch and strikes out. So that's out number 2. All right, here's our McDonald's true stories. Now, this happened in 1897. And yeah, we were not broadcasting then. Lefty O'Doul was born in San Francisco. He played or managed the San Francisco Seal for parts of 5 decades. From 1917 to 1952, he played 11 seasons in the majors. Had a .349 career average, 4th best all time. And what do you do when you have numbers like that? They name a bridge after you and a bar, which is no longer there.
Yeah, that still upsets me.
It really does.
Well, he's a legend not only in San Francisco, but in Japan. He had a lot to do with baseball and its development in Japan. But, I mean, that was just like an added bonus. When the Giants announced their site for the ballpark to be built downtown San Francisco, AT&T Park. And then we get there, and there's a bridge right there on the right field side. And somebody says, yeah, it's the Lefty O'Doul Bridge. We go, well, did they just name it that? No. It's always been the Lefty O'Doul Bridge.
Now with a ballpark right there, it made a little bit more sense. Here's Rutledge. Rutledge takes low, 1 ball and no strikes.
But that is one of the great baseball names of all time.
I agree. Giants would like to see Chris Shaw hit this inning. He's on deck. It would mean Rutledge would have to reach.
Yeah, he's worked a 2-0 advantage here. Rutledge trying to make this team. These are the ideal situations that you crave if you're trying to be a guy to win a job.
A 2-0 curveball. Hitters would think, well, isn't it too early for that?
That's exactly what he's thinking.
Backs it up, 2-2.
Yasiel Sierra, good breaking ball. Definitely has confidence in it to throw it 2-0, 2-1. But you know, you look at Rutledge taking that 2-1 fastball. That was a breaking ball that was up. He wouldn't look a breaking ball 2-1. He was still sitting on that fastball. I mean, did you ever look breaking ball in spring training?
No, not until maybe the last week or the last 3 or 4 games when things started to get a wee bit more serious.
But for the most part, you're just trying to get a strike zone, get your hands in shape, and get time to the fastball.
Yeah, not break your bat and not break your thumbs. If you did that, you're driving home and you think, you know, I had a pretty good day. No errors, or maybe just one.
One error for you is a bad week.
Strike 3 call. So Rutledge sees 2 breaking balls and a fastball, and he didn't let it go at all.
Spring is coming. Be ready for
a reminder that Warriors insider Monty Poole is going to sit down with head coach Steve Kerr for a conversation you're not going to want to miss. Talks about the Warriors down the stretch, how to fix the issues with the NC2A and gun control in America. Subscribe to the Warriors podcast wherever you find your favorite podcast. You'll see it on NBCSportsBayArea.com.
You know, I've been watching Steve Kerr. No ties lately.
Yeah, ties are overrated.
Going with the no tie look. Corey Guerin is the new pitcher for the Giants. And he's been in a couple of games. He's pitched well.
I got to get used to the beard. He said if I get to spring training and I still have the beard, I'm keeping it. I'm a keep it guy. 3rd time he's been out there. He's been fantastic. Low 90s fastball from a high sidearm delivery. Big time sink. He's got a curveball change up.
Here's Thompson, and he takes a call strike. Hey, we got Joe Panic. How you doing, Joe?
Oh, doing good, guys. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. This is the best part of spring training if you're a regular, where you get to come out of the game early. Way to go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's took a few years of being the guy backing up these games, so it feels good coming out early.
There's always a time where you're the guy going in right about now.
Exactly, and that's when the infield's nice and hard, and balls are bouncing all over the place.
Yep, and it makes it look like you're going in for defense, and you're thinking, wow, on these infields, this is not a good idea. But anyway, how things going so far?
No, so far so good. At the plate, feeling good, and in the field, getting my timing out there. So, for me, I feel getting ready, pretty quick. So, it's always a good thing, to get the good feelings going early.
You hit cleanup you led off today, I should say. You like leading off?
Yeah, I've been doing it all spring, and so far, I've been enjoying it. Wherever Boch, has us during the year, wherever he wants to put us, it's, we have a deep lineup this year, so, wherever it is, it is. But right now, I'm kind of enjoying it in front of Belter and Kutch and now Longo. It's, it's pretty good.
So what about actually going into the manager's office and saying, hey, can we talk, and say, look, I want to be your leadoff hitter? You ready for that yet?
I think that's a conversation that we'll probably have at some point this spring. But I think he knows best. I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Here's Thompson, who takes a breaking ball, 3-2. One of the things that I went through as a player in Arizona is defensively, because of the infields here, you get into bad habits. And you can kind of wear yourself worrying about those bad habits. And I'm wondering if you ever go through that.
Yeah, especially early, when you first get down here. And it takes a little while to get used to. But at the same time, the second baseman, really forcing me to read the hops as best as I can. Honestly, allows me to kind of sit back a little bit, which, shortstop, third base, you really can't do that. But second base, you can really, really force you to read the hops, because if, you get that in between out, that thing's going to, you'll be getting some bruises at some point.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that these fields translate to the field, the major league field, the Diamondbacks major league field, because that infield can be a little rough.
Yeah, I will say, during the season, Arizona at Chase Field, it's a fast infield, but the dirt is smooth. It's definitely a lot better than this, but just because you have the indoors and whatnot. But like I said, it takes a little getting used to it as an infielder. For me, you really have to focus on getting the right hops.
Well, you have a new third baseman, and he's a Gold Glover, so everybody on that infield either has won a Gold Glove, and very well the guy at first could win one, and that's Brandon Belt. So you have to be pretty pleased with how great this defense has a chance to be this year.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, you look around the infield, and you got guys who can make some plays, but we still have to go out there and do it. But definitely adding Longo, I think everybody's pretty happy with that one. What he brings to the table, offensively, defensively, everybody knows what he can do. And just his presence in the lineup and the clubhouse, it's definitely going to solidify us.
Here's Verdugo, who's facing Corey Guerin. We're visiting with Joe Panik, and the first pitch is wide. Well, I'll give you the defensive changes, and then we'll get back to Joe Panik. Mac Williamson in right field, Hansen at second, and Aramis Garcia is now behind the dish. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Alex Verdugo. 4-1 Dodgers. Breaking ball for a strike.
So, Joe, Kipe and I were having a conversation. I asked him, did you ever look for anything but a fastball in spring training? He said, yeah, I like the last 4 games. How do you get yourself ready? Do you think more strike zone? Do you sit on fastball a lot? I mean, how do you prepare yourself mentally as a hitter in spring to get ready for the season?
Yeah, I think first things first, you have to be able to hit a fastball. I think that's the first thing you got to accomplish in spring, is get your timing down the fastball, and then you work off of that. And it's tricky. Like today, you're facing Kenta Maeda, and he's in season he's going to be working a lot of off-speed pitches. But my first at bat against him, he worked more fastballs early and fastballs late, which is something a little different, for him. So when you're trying to go approach-wise, it's harder to pinpoint with pitchers in spring training, because you don't know what they're working on, or sometimes they'll try to mess with you and kind of overthinking things. So for me, early on, it's get the timing down the fastball. Then once you get probably the last week of spring training, that's when guys are really kind of locking it in pitcher-wise and hitters approach-wise. So I say probably last week, that's when you start not guessing, but kind of have more of an approach.
Do you use a lot of tee work, a lot of soft toss? How do you set up your day?
For me, everybody's different. I'm a big believer in tee work. I like working the 9 zones, on the plate. It allows me to get the swing that I want, in each little zone, and then from there you go into, whatever. Some guys like to go into flips. Some guys go into BP. Some guys like actual BP machine work. But for me, I'm a big tee work guy, and once I get my swing down for all those zones, I take it out to BP.
So Verdugo pops out, and here's Ramos. Did I see you guys took a vacation? Were you with the Crawfords this offseason?
Yeah.
So you can't get away from them.
No, I guess not. No, we had a good time, but Yeah, I guess we can't get away from each other. That's the bottom line.
Hey, if you need a kid fix, hang out with the Crawfords.
I know they got number 4 on the way. Yeah, I guess we're not ready just yet for kids.
Are you not surrounded by a couple of guys that are going to have babies?
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, Belter, I think, is going to has one on the way. I'm trying to think who else.
Crawford?
Yeah, Crawford, and then who knows? Who else is going to have one?
Yeah,
seriously.
Maybe there's somebody's just not telling us. There's a pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, you got plenty of time for that.
Exactly.
The guy I'm sitting next to all of a sudden had 5.
I don't know how it happened.
He does know how. It's called road trips.
Yeah, I don't think the Panic family has the baby fever just yet.
Yeah, that's all right. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Henry Ramos and a swat. You're going to miss. It's 1-2. All right, Joe, thanks for coming by, and stay healthy, because I always feel if a guy stays healthy, he's going to have a good year.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, Joe. Corey Guerin, 1-2 with 2 outs. I think Joe wanted to get off the baby talk really fast.
I think I asked a bad question.
Get into center field for Blanco, who squares up, and he makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's 4-1 LA. Spring training TV schedule, and on Saturday, make that on Sunday the 11th, we're on at 3 p.m. on KNTV, and then on the 17th, which is a Saturday against the A's, that's a 4 o'clock start, and that'll be on KNTV as well. We are back on NBC Sports Bay Area. It's a night game on March 22nd against the Cubs. KNTV on the 23rd, and then 2 games back in the Bay Area for the Bay Bridge Series, the 26th and 27th at AT&T Park. NBC Sports Bay Area, and the one on the 27th is on Plus. Daniel Corsino is the new pitcher, and Chris Shaw is the hitter. Another young man out of the Giants minor league system, and this young man is known for his power.
Now, not Corsino. We're talking about Shaw, the hitter. Shaw, high draft pick out of Boston College, and he has been a guy who's really had some nice numbers all the way through the minor leagues. He has played first base. He's played left field, right field. They're trying to find a position for him, but this guy can hit.
I mean, this is what you're talking about, Mike. Not had 1 at bat in the big leagues, and they have the overshift on for him.
And this just doesn't take long. It's just a philosophy of your organization. You're going to do it.
Lost 15 pounds in the offseason, and he didn't really do it for his offense, but if he's going to play in the outfield, he wanted to be a little lighter.
Well, he looks fantastic.
down and away to make it 2 balls and a strike.
Yesterday we saw him hit a home run out over the wall left center, and a very impressive at bat. See the size on him, 6'3", 226.
Foul down the left field line and out of play.
Does not have a lot of lower body movement. Very quiet with his lower body. Not much stride.
Garcia is on deck. Got him.
Changeup, and I mean a good one. Orsino coming in, first guy he faces. They send an outside target, but when you have great arm action after you've established the fastball, even if you miss your location, you can get a hitter to freeze.
Here's Aramis Garcia, the young catcher out of the Giants system, with Orlando Calixte on deck. And the pitch, swinging a pop-up, playable to right field. Verdugo puts it away, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Calixte. We were talking about the Warriors earlier, and one of Steve Kerr's assistant, gentleman who I believe he just turned 70, Ron Adams, a big article in the New York Times sports section about the life of Ron Adams, and it's a really good story. So if you're interested, check it out.
I will check it out. I think he's 71.
No balls and 1 strike. And into center field for Clay Thompson's brother, who stumbles and makes the catch. You know what? Those Thompsons, man.
They're just not graceful.
Here's the non-graceful brother, but he puts it away. And that'll end the inning. So what's happened here today? In front of a sellout crowd. The highlight, a home run by Steven Duggar in the 3rd inning. Samardzija pitched well. And here's Will Smith facing Jose Flores. And a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1.
Flores.
So the game summary, a little tardy, but here, Maeda, Grandal at opposite field home run, and then Samardzija and Duggar. It's 4-1. Sorry, Mike. Pop up on a play.
Yeah, just talking about Jose Flores. I mean, this is his 11th year of professional baseball. He's never pitched at the big league level. Originally came over with the Indians in 2007. A's got him in 2013, Cincinnati 2014. Giants got him last year. He pitched in Sacramento for him. A reliever, and then last year they made him a starter. Most of his career out of the pen, and then last year the Giants said, no, see what you can do as a starter. He's got an unusual delivery. Big guy, 6'3", 250. And then he's got a very compact take back, gets his arm in the high position very quickly. Almost looks like he flops his arm in position to throw.
Into the parking lot. Nope, didn't quite make it. Into the back row of the seats here at Scottsdale Stadium. It's 0-2.
That was always a concern when you parked here as a player.
When you got to the parking lot, look for a dent or two.
Always park so that your windshield was facing away from the field. Learn that the hard way.
Yeah, the other thing here you wanted to avoid is having to visit the building across the street. Yeah,
the Scottsdale Community Hospital.
That's it. And if you've been coming down here as long as we have, I don't know, I think maybe 3 times we've been there with our kids.
Oh, yeah, at least. I got stitched up there.
Hit out into right center field for Mac Williamson, who puts it away.
Hey, stuff happens. Come on.
Here's Solano.
There's the hospital we're talking about. I look at that hospital. I think about Randy Hundley, who was a coach for us when I was with the Cubs. Had to have an emergency appendectomy. It was like throwing BP, and all of a sudden, next thing we know, he gets carted off the field. 20 minutes later, he's having his appendix taken out.
That ball's going to fall into left center field off the bat of Donovan Solano, and it's going to be extra bases, and it's a 1-out double.
So I look at that hospital, it makes me think of Randy Hundley's appendix.
Of course. Remember Randy Johnson hit JT Snow?
Yeah.
In the face.
In the face.
And thank goodness the hospital was right where it was.
That was awful. My daughter-in-law, Selena, she had a dislocated shoulder. She went over there and they put it back in place for her. Scottsdale Community Hospital stories. We could go on.
Big breaking ball misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers with runs in the 1st, 3rd, and 4th. And Duggar's home run in the 3rd, the only run for the Giants. There's a strike. You know, 1 ball and 1 strike.
When JT Snow got hit off of Randy Hundley, he was, you know, a switch hitter, hit from the right side. I don't know if he was ever the same from the right side after taking that one in the face.
Yep, you might be right.
JT Snow, a great Giant.
Outside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Rios to follow. This is the 7th with 1 out, and Solano at second base. Flores deals. Swinging a chopper, and Calixte hits the bag. Hits the bag right when Calixte was going to field it. And that's what you get in the desert.
That was going to be a non-productive out where the hitter or the runner couldn't advance. Now all of a sudden, if you're Jose Flores, instead of 2 outs, 1 on, you got 1 out, 2 on, and watch the ball hit the bag, and Calixte had no chance.
Plus, I mean, it really was a base running mistake by Solano. He should have been going to third.
Should have been standing on third.
So this is Edwin Rios.
You know, one of my favorite JT Snow stories is?
Do I know it?
Yeah, I think you do.
Curveball for a strike.
You know, JT was with the Angels for a while, and obviously ended his career with the Giants, and really had a great career in San Francisco. And I think he thinks of himself as a Giant. But after he was retired, he was seen by a Giants fan at a hamburger stand, and he had on an Angels hat. And the Giants fan walked up to him and said, JT, they really upset the Giants fan. I said, JT, you've got an Angel hat on. And JT looked at him and said, yep, I do. This is my son Shane, and he's a little leaguer on the Angels, and I'm one of the coaches. So that's why I have my Angel hat on.
Yeah. So take that.
So the Giants fan felt so much better about that. Because JT really is one of the great San Francisco Giants of all time. That's how I see him.
1 ball and 1 strike. No argument from me. Solano at third. And that's going to be a base hit. So Solano scores, and hustling is Rios. He's going to go to second, and when the ball kicks away from everybody, that back end runner scores. Beatty.
That's a nice play from Rios. That's the type of play that it stands out to a coaching staff. I mean, after the crack of the bat, you're thinking single, and a guy comes around first base. If you see the numbers on the back of an outfielder, that is your ticket to take a chance and go to second.
Yeah, they're going to give back Williams in the air, and that's not an error on him.
No.
You got to catch that ball. So here's Rocky Gale.
I mean, that's one thing you have to deal with. I mean, look, in my career, I identified, I was a Giant. I mean, I played in Philadelphia with the Cubs and loved my experience there, but I think of myself as a Giant. When you retire, if you have children, you're playing Little League, youth baseball, and you're a coach, you're going to be wearing different hats.
That's a base hit into left center field. And here comes Rios. He's going to score. So right now, things are not working well for Jose Flores.
I had to wear a Blue Jays hat, Yankees hat, Rockies hat, Expos hat. It does feel weird. But supporting your kid.
Well, we just saw the story about Orlando Cepeda, who we're hearing that he's doing much, much better. But his grandson wearing a Dodger hat, playing for his little league team. That's the Dodgers.
Hey, you made a suggestion many years ago. I think it's a good one.
There's Jackson.
Youth baseball teams in the Bay Area, you shouldn't have any Dodgers in the league. Youth baseball teams in Los Angeles, you shouldn't have any Giants teams in the league.
Absolutely.
Because, look, we've seen Little League Day where kids go rolling by. Now we're talking about AT&T Park. Here comes the parade of Little Leaguers out. And all of a sudden, here comes a team that is the Dodgers from San Rafael, and they're getting booed. That's not a good thing.
That's not good.
You should not get booed when you're 8 years old.
Should not. Not when you really don't even want to be. the Dodgers. 1 ball and 1 strike to Drew Jackson. This inning is getting away from the Giants. That's fouled off the backstop. One ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, well, just things to think about.
4 hits in a row for the Dodgers. Two and 2.
I got an autograph today.
Yeah, I saw you were collecting autographs.
I got Peter Gammons, the Hall of Famer, Hall of Fame rider, here at the ballpark today. Got to be here in Arizona till I think the 22nd of March.
Out of play into the parking lot.
Says he loves Arizona. Of course, I think Peter Gammons loves any ballpark that he's in.
Yeah, he lives in Boston area, so they're getting pummeled right now too,
yeah,
weather-wise.
A lot of weather in the country.
Got him.
Got him on a fastball.
So here's Trace Thompson.
Now you have to hold your composure if you're Jose Flores. I mean, he's got a couple of jam shot singles and a base hit that hit the bag at second. Hadn't had a lot of breaks in this inning. This is one of those innings where they watch you. How do you handle it? Do you hold your composure? How do you battle? How deep can you dig?
So the first pitch down low. Verdugo to follow. If you've not heard the attendance yet, I don't know if it's been announced or not, but clearly this is a sellout. Out of play, it's a ball and a strike. It's 7-1 Dodgers. The Dodgers have 12 hits. The Giants don't have many. They have 4. So it looks like the Giants got all their hits yesterday.
Yesterday was a good day. Giants had a split squad. Played the Rangers. Played the Indians and won both games with a lot of home runs hit. Today, that's a bit quiet. We talked about Jose Flores on the mound. I mean, he's no baby. 28 years old. This is his 11th year in professional baseball. So this is a big deal. This is a big outing for him, and it's not going his way.
2 balls and a strike. And that's a shot into center field, and that'll be a base hit. So Chris Berman's coming out. And the fans now recognizing that it's not Bruce Bochy, but Chris Berman. And he will either have a conversation with Flores or he's going to take him out. And he's going to take him out.
Boomer, you got to make a signal. Raise your arm up.
Who do you want, a right-hander or a left-hander or what?
Yeah, right-hander. I hope there's a right-hander out there.
There we go.
Had a baby Boomer.
Every guy that comes out of the bullpen, they seem to get bigger.
Hey, they're the Giants. Old 83. Nice
All right, nice job, Boomer. So a thrill for longtime Giants fans, Chris Berman, and many here now recognize that it is Chris Berman.
I'll bet his heart is pumping.
He said he didn't want to fall down walking out there or walking back. And
yeah, we've said that a few times.
yeah, we all know how he feels. And meanwhile, I had no idea who he brought in.
Bochy saying, well, how'd you like that?
It's Slania. S-L-A-N-I-A. He's already catching grief for not signaling to the bullpen to bring somebody in.
Well, it's all right. It's something you have to learn.
So here's Verdugo with 2 outs, 3 runs in. Slania.
He is a big fella. Our first look at him.
Verdugo's had 1 at bat in this game, and he popped out to short. And he takes outside for a ball. 1-0. One ball and no strikes. Two and 0.
Slania, 4-pitch guy, fastball. He can run it up there mid-90s. Curveball, slider, changeup.
The look to second in the pitch, and a swing and a dribbler, foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. Giants tomorrow will take on the Rangers. Ty Block and Andrew Suarez will pitch in that game, and both have pitched extremely well.
Mentioned how big Slania was, 6'5", 275 out of Notre Dame. Phoenix native.
Center field with something behind it. Blanco puts it away. Gregor Blanco making the play.
Spring is coming. Be ready for the
With more models over 40 mpg than any other manufacturer, Toyota, let's go places. By Xfinity, X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com.
Very nice Sunday afternoon here in the desert. It's 7-1. Dodgers on top. They have a new pitcher. It's Mark Lowe. And they have a new right fielder. It's Yasniel Diaz. So there's Lowe.
Lowe trying to hook on. A 9-year veteran, 34 years of age. Not going too well. I mean, the inning of third has given him 6 hits, a walk. So this becomes a big outing for him. Well, always a reliever. Pitched for the Mariners, the Rangers, the Angels, the Indians, Blue Jays, and the Tigers. Been around.
Here's Gregor Blanco. Gregor looks at a strike. Blanco had an at-bat in the 4th inning and hit a fly ball to right field. Hansen on deck. Alan Hansen. Swinging a foul. Another than 2. The game tomorrow between the Giants and the Rangers. Ty Block, as I mentioned, will start for the Giants. Starting for the Rangers is Matt Moore. So how about that? The former Giant will face his old team.
It is a weird deal. That is definitely an emotional start for Matt Moore.
Blanco takes wide. The 1-2 pitch to Blanco. A bit wide, 2-2. Giants have 60 players in camp, 20 non-roster players. It breaks down to 30 pitchers, 6 catchers, 14 infielders, 10 outfielders. 3-2, 0-2 to 3-2.
This is the time of spring where everybody gets work. I mean, your regulars are going to play 3, 4, 5 innings max. I mean, if you're in camp, you're going to play. Saw Jeff Samardzija today as Blanco takes a walk, a leadoff walk.
Well, that's an 0-2 to a walk.
That's a star at bat. But Samardzija, he goes 2 innings. Well, you're going to see guys coming out of the bullpen. 7 of them, maybe more. It's a great opportunity. And I think that this generation of player, I mean, really has an advantage because of the amount of exposures you can get in spring training.
If you got invited to spring training and you were not on the roster back when we played, that was a huge deal because they didn't invite many players. And usually the extra people were catchers and relievers.
Well, with the Cubs, when I came up, they had Scottsdale Stadium where the big league team was. You never saw the big leaguers.
That's why you ain't gonna miss. I'm thinking 2.
Minor leaguers stayed at Motel 6, and they played at Fitch Park, which is about 5 blocks away from here. If you wanted to go to the big league complex, you had to buy a ticket.
Yeah, and everybody was loaded back in those days.
Lots of glue. You got $6 a day meal money in spring training, and we're happy to get it.
Oh, 2 pitch. Got him.
Front door sink. Good pitch.
So Hansen gone, and here's Belt. So here's Belt. Belt today has popped out. He's walked and he's struck out. Bruce Bochy, when we had him on in the 2nd inning, basically said, I am not going to slow play Belt because of the concussion that he had last year and all the games that he missed. So Belt's going to play a lot, and here he is. He's the only guy that is in this game that was in the original lineup. And tight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yep. Some of the kids have had it.
Just a little snooze. Breaks it up. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, you're kind of that way.
Bell takes a strike, 1 and 2.
Yeah, little brother, he's good to go now. Rochambeau.
Just enough area there where you can get in trouble.
Yeah.
Are they doing rock, paper, scissors?
Yep.
1 and 2. Ooh.
Were you a rock guy or a scissor guy or a paper guy?
Always scissors.
Well,
because I figured that could hurt you the most.
My daughter got me one day. We did the 1, 2, 3 thing, and she put out her forefinger, like pointing at something, and I go, "What is that?" She goes, "Stick of dynamite." I win.
Yep.
So I said, "All right."
There you go, Tess. In tight, 3 and 2.
She's also the one that said, "Dad, do you know who married the Dairy Queen?" I said, "No." She said, "The Burger King."
My daughters are never boring.
No, they are not boring.
3 and 2. Belt off the glove of Solano. And Blanco is going to head to third. Belt's going to second. Nobody's there. And the throw goes right through second base.
I don't think you can hit a ball any harder than that.
It's a double for Belt. And here's Mac Williamson.
That's a heads-up play. You got both your middle infielders going out on the play. I mean, that ball was roasted. And it absolutely handcuffs number 84, Matt Beatty. But here's where it's a good play. He looks out here. He says, "Hey, there's nobody out there. I'm gone."
Here's Mac Williamson. Way outside to Williamson, who has had a nice spring. He does have power, and he has shown it this spring.
Well, he's been a great story in that he's doing what he absolutely needs to do. He needs to be hot. Be hot early, be hot middle, be hot late. Change his swing. Hands are low. Watch the high leg kick. And what it has done is it's created a different angle where his bat is no longer flat. He has a guy hit a lot of balls on the ground. They want him to elevate. And you do that with a slight uppercut, launch angle, change that. And it's working for him. His batting practice is loud. The games have been loud.
High and deep to left. And off the bottom of the wall, it'll score Blanco and Belt. And Mac Williamson's got a double.
Well, it would be a great story. When you look at his minor league stats, and they're good numbers all the way. He got to the big league level, and he did not make adjustments. His swing, he stayed flat with it. Now watch the high leg kick. And now there's uppercut there. There's a slight uppercut, whereas last year it was a flat swing. The problem that he had was hitting the fastball. And he's not having a problem with it now. Now, granted, you're going to see better fastballs as spring moves on. But, hey, you have to put your name on the chalkboard, and he has done that. They've been waiting for him, and he's having a great spring. So, hopefully it continues. Nice at bat.
Here's Gomez. Gomez way out in front. Gomez struck out in the 5th inning. And the 0-1 pitch coming up to Gomez is a swing. 0-2. Rutledge is on deck. Giants with 2 hits this inning give them 6 on the afternoon, 13 for the Dodgers. Gomez spins on this one. And that's just going to be an impressive foul.
Loud strike. Can loud strikes help you get out of a slump?
I don't know, Mike. I never hit that many loud strikes. That was not part of my program. 0-2 to Miguel Gomez. On the bottom of the 7th. Giants had a game yesterday where it was under 3 hours. That was the only game so far this spring that was under 3. Under 3-hour games in spring training are unusual.
Yeah,
this
rare.
one's not going to make it. 0-2. That ball squirts between the legs of Smith. If you wrote down wild pitch, you'd be right.
Well, Will Smith caught a piece of his throwing hand. Dodgers like this kid.
So Mac Williamson at third with 1 out. Infield back. Pop up. Shallow right field. It'll be Diaz who comes racing in and makes the catch. So Gomez will be unhappy that he could not get that run in. But Rutledge has a shot here, but now it's going to have to be by way of a hit or a mistake by the Dodgers. It's 7-3 Los Angeles.
Yeah, he's having a word with himself. It happens.
So Rutledge is 0 for 1. Rutledge struck out looking in the 5th. It's a good weekend. All 4 broadcasters in town. John and Dave to our right doing the game for flagship station KMBR and all of the affiliates. It's not unusual to see John here, but it is unusual to see Dave with all the extra work that Dave does, all the basketball and football games he does in the off season. We see him, he just doesn't see us. So there's 2 of our favorites. Swing ain't gonna miss. 1-2. Dave in his 16th year, which I find that hard to believe.
Yeah. I mean, only because he still looks like he's 24 years old.
Looks exactly the same. The 1-2 pitch, and that will end the inning as Rutledge goes down for the 2nd time. 8th inning coming up. 7-3.
Your very own seat location at Select a Seat Day at AT&T Park on Saturday, March 10th at 11 to 4 p.m. Outstanding seats are still available in premium locations. You're going to want to be on board for this club this year, folks. You're going to have a good season. And, hey, we'll match you up with season ticket partners for half-season plans. You want information, go to 415-972-2988 on your phone or go to sfgiants.com/tickets and talk to a sales rep.
Yeah. Some good seats still available. Take advantage of it, because it's right around the corner. Here's Ramos, and Ramos takes down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Will Smith is on deck. Two balls and a strike.
I got to check out what Brett Alexander sends today. Giants Director of Travel, Brett Alexander, sends out a daily schedule of activities, and on it he'll tell you how many days left till camp breaks, 19. How many days till opening day, 25. And how many days till postseason, 212. Which is just a subtle way to put it in your mind, reminding everybody that, you know, that everybody's hoping for a 7-month season. I love that.
Yeah, we like these short off seasons. A 3-1 swing and a foul straight back. It's 3-2.
It's great to see our ball dude come out to fetch that ball, and he did a little Javier Lopez impersonation. Took a little tumble.
3-2.
And you know what everybody in the Giants dugout said. Don't worry, kid. Nobody saw it.
So Jensen is now at first. Will Smith is the hitter. He's the kid from St. Mary's.
Well, he's the spring training All-American right now. He's having an unbelievable spring.
He is. Pitches high, 1 ball and no strikes. Solano is on deck. It's 7-3. Dodgers.
You know, in our discussion with Joe Panic, he said something I never really thought of. And you were all over it about if you come in and late in a ball game and play defense, you're going to get a hard infield. This isn't like the big leagues where they water down the infield in the 5th inning and drag it.
You got to bring your own water if you do it.
This is Arizona. I want to get ready for spring training. Take your ground balls in the Walmart parking lot.
2 balls and 1 strike. I've told this story before, but and Gaylord Perry's here. He was signing autographs today, the Hall of Famer. But when I got to the Indians in 1974, Gaylord was a big deal. He was winning 20 games every year. This is hit into the gap in right center field. Blanco got a good read on it, but it gets past them. So that means Ramos is going to be held at third. So a walk and a double. And that'll bring up Solano. So 1975, I'm a rook, and he's the best pitcher in the league. But he's taking ground balls before every game at second base. Well, if you've seen Gaylord, you know, Gaylord probably weighed about maybe 230 back then.
Had like
but each
14
foot
shoes
were 50 pounds. This is hit into the gap, and that's going to score a pair. So it'll be a double. And now the wheels have fallen off completely. And you can imagine what the infield looked like by the time Gaylord got done taking ground balls. And then I had to take ground balls.
Yeah. But you couldn't complain.
Well, yeah, who was going to say something to Gaylord? Hey, Gaylord, that skinny guy over there, number 18, he wants you to stop. So Kurt Young goes out to have a word. As things go, this inning started out with a
walk. So it has come back to haunt. You know who's wearing it right now? Chris Berman, the honorary manager for the Giants today.
Yeah, but he clarified things by saying he got the win yesterday.
Sorry. See, doesn't he look depressed and sad?
Yeah.
No, not our Boomer.
He is headed back to Maui tomorrow. Pop up from Beatty. Calixte. 1-0. Chris Berman said, if it was good enough for Lon Simmons, it's good enough for me.
Yeah, Lon Simmons retired to Maui.
And where Lon lived, and now where Chris Berman has a home, very close. Here's Edwin Rios.
I can see you doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do it for probably about a month. And then I'd, of course, have an alert that there was a missile on its way, and then I'd have to go.
Well, that's what happened to you the last time you were in Hawaii.
The 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And when you're on the balcony of the hotel, you're in Oahu, and you got the alert that the missile was coming your way, what'd you think about it?
Should I wake up my wife or shouldn't I?
Well, did you?
I did not. And she thanked me. 1 ball and 1 strike to Rios. But I will tell you this, the only way you were going to get information was by way of Twitter and in an alert on your phone, and that never left my left hand. That was just the only source that we had of knowing what the heck was going on. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I mean, the guy knew right away he hit the wrong button, but why it took 38 minutes to undo the message. Well, there's a strikeout, 2 down.
Good change up there. Yeah, that's a long 30 minutes.
8.
Well,
38.
It's a long 38 minutes.
Yeah, thanks.
But, you know, that's the difference. I mean, yeah, you're in your mid-60s, and you don't wake your wife up. If you're 25 years old, you're waking it up, you're lighting the candles, and you're putting on soft music.
Yeah. Maybe you're going for one last round. Here's a breaking ball for a called strike. Rocky Gale. Good ball player's name. There's a line drive right at Calixte, and that'll end the inning. Giants on the go. Great news, Giants fans. Once again this season, you'll be able to stream every NBC Sports Bay Area Giants broadcast on your desktop or your mobile device. Giants game streamed on the go on the NBC Sports app. Brian Mosley's the new pitcher, a right-hander, and the hitter for the Giants is Chris Shaw. So Shaw batting for the second time. He struck out looking in the 6th.
I had to sit on a call strike 3, so this will be a spirited at bat. He's going to get his rips in.
The bat is sweet. He ain't gonna miss.
But he is one of the guys that I was looking forward to seeing hit. I got the ballpark yesterday. He steps up there, boop, opposite field home run.
No.
So I was impressed. The strikeout is going to be something that he's going to have to deal with. Last year, in about 325, I think, at bats at AAA level, he had over 100 strikeouts. So his numbers were good. His power numbers were good his whole year. But why don't I just look and see?
Hold on the ground right at Rios, and he'll go to the bag. Not as significant these days as it was in years past. Teams will live with strikeouts if you're like Cody Bellinger with 39 home runs.
Well, he had 24 home runs last year combined with Richmond and Sacramento. Sacramento was 79 RBI. I mean, that's a good year.
There's a called strike to Ramos Garcia.
But he had like 470 at bats. He had 132 strikeouts. 100 of them in AAA. 106 at 33, 336 at bats. Well, that's too many.
0-2. One thing that Mosley's doing is he's throwing strikes.
This is another guy the Giants are high on, real high on.
High draft pick out of Miami. Almost went. It's 1-2. Caliste on deck. Tap foul.
Last year, Garcia started the year in San Jose, the A-ball affiliate for the Giants, at 272 with 17 homers. Then they moved him up to Richmond, which is really a pitcher's league. Hit 282. They like him.
Got him.
That's
Under
good
the
sink.
hands.
Good sink on a two-seamer at 90 miles an hour.
So Caliste is going to hit with 2 outs. 12,141 here at the park today.
You know, that's the difference between a veteran in spring training and a rookie. A guy like Evan Longoria strikes out. I don't think he's paying a whole lot of attention to it. Walks out of the ballpark, goes home. A guy like Chris Shaw strikes out.
Yeah, you probably think about it for a while. There's a pitch down low.
Yeah, like all night. Spring training means so many different things to so many different players. The young hopefuls, or how about the guys who are 34, 35 years old trying to add another year to their career? I mean, they're kind of thinking about it the same way as the guy who's trying to break his way in.
So 3-0 to Caliste with Blanco to follow.
And this is really kind of a weird spring training. We haven't seen one like this for a long time, or if ever, in that there's a lot of free agents out there still. We're talking big-time players that are looking for homes.
Jam shot. And Rios will put it away, and that'll do it for the Giants here in the 8th. So we'll go to the 9th. It's 9-3 Dodgers. We go to the inning we've all been waiting for.
What a day it has been for Steven Duggar, a young hopeful trying to make this club really shine with a couple of nice defensive plays. But he continues to stay hot with the bat as well. He went 1 for 1 with a walk, the one hit being his 3rd home run of spring. And he launched one. So, kid making some noise.
So the new pitcher is Tyler Sear, and he's going to face Drew Jackson. It's 9-3 in favor of the Dodgers here in the 9th. And the pitch in tight, 1 ball and no strikes.
93 on the hands. Sear, originally born in Fremont, California, went to Embry-Riddle,
home of
Dennis Eckersley.
Dennis Eckersley.
Sear, 24 years old, 6'2", 210-pounder. Last year was at the Double-A club. Really had a solid season. Out of the bullpen, went 5-2 with a 2.19 ERA, but it gets better. 49 in the 3rd inning, struck out 57 against 20 walks.
And tight, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Through his minor league career, he's averaged almost 11 strikeouts per 9 innings.
Look at this kid. He got dressed up today for this.
Hey, put on his tuxedo.
Three and 1.
Every day's a dress-up day. Let's go, Mom.
All right. Everybody on the blanket. Let's go.
JT Snow fan.
Time for a picture. So, what does Tyler Sear do? A walk.
Center fielder, number 21, Trace Thompson.
So here's Trace Thompson. Thompson, 1 for 2. He singled in the 7th inning, had a line drive into center field. First pitch is a strike, and it's no balls and 1 strike.
For Tyler Sear, at Richmond last year, he was the closer, had 18 saves. So if you're going to be a closer, I mean, you got to have strikeout stuff. He's got that. You got to be able to throw a strike. you have strikeout to walk ratio 2-to-1, two strikeouts to every walk, that's good stuff. For Tyler Sear in his minor league career, he's had a 3-to-1 strikeout walk ratio.
So 2 balls and 1 strike.
The perfect reliever is a strike thrower that can get a strikeout and he can get a ground ball. That's the perfect reliever.
Maybe playable as Garcia is over by the dugout, and he is going to tumble and make the play.
What a wrestling match right there. So he wasn't looking directly into the sun, but he was feeling it.
Yeah, I would say that that's a nice play.
Yes, all right, find it. Turn your back to the ball, to the field, because the ball's going to come back to you. Thank God you have a hinge in your glove.
Yeah, what you'd like to do is somehow get Sears' attention and switch gloves with him while that ball's in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's Diaz. Swing. Gonna miss. Ramos is on deck. We are in the 9th. Down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. It was Jeff Samardzija who started. Samardzija got dinged up for just 1 run. Had to pitch through some traffic in the 2nd inning. And then Watson came in. And the 1-1. Driven to right, but it's right at Mac Williamson who makes the catch. 2 outs.
That's the side of the field where you're going to feel the sun. You're looking right into it. Good play.
So here's Ramos. Ramos has had 3 at bats, a fly ball and a walk. Nope, in tight. 1 ball and no strikes. Jackson with his lead and a bouncing ball right at Calixte. And he will step on the bag just to beat Jackson, and that's going to end the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Giants have some work to do. It's 9-3 LA. For the Dodgers, 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Giants. Malcolm Culver is the new pitcher for the Dodgers. There's Culver.
Old man Culver's kid, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll try to get the last 3 outs of this game. Still hanging in there. So Gregor Blanco's going to hit first. And then Alan Hansen. Blanco's hit twice. He hit a fly ball to right, and then he drew a walk in the 7th. Line drive, fair down the right field line, right past the diving Rios. Blanco is going to go. Nope, he's going to drop anchor at second base, and that's a leadoff double.
Yeah, down 9-3. Why not? Still a good at bat. When you're trying to make a club, you know, it's significant that that ball was 6 inches fair as opposed to 6 inches foul. Set an outside target. They missed the location down and in, drop the head, start taking off. And he knew right out of the box it was going to be extra bags right on the line.
Hansen is walked and struck out. Culver throws, and it's high. 1 ball and no strikes. Spring training games can be so odd. Giants have already had 2 games where they had a 7-run lead in the 9th, and the game ended up in a tie. And they trailed by 6 runs, and they ended up winning a game.
I mean, that's kind of been the theme all around the Cactus League and the Grapefruit League. A lot of big innings, especially late. Hey, spring training. Now, you see, if you do that during the season, they're bringing out the history books.
You're right.
Spring training, spring training. For the Giants, this is year number 135. So they start digging up stuff that happened to the New York Giants in 1902.
Sure. So 1-2 to Hansen. Up high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Babe Jensen is on deck.
I'm looking forward to that at bat.
Culver with a look to second at Blanco. And this is skied into center field for Thompson. 1 out. And here's Jensen.
Well, why am I looking forward to his at-bats? Well, let's take a look at his previous 9 at-bats. Got 4 home runs and 8 RBIs. Oh, yeah, he mixed a single in there, but...
Hey, the thing about Jensen is he does not have a big swing.
Big guy, 6'3", 255.
Got a very powerful short swing.
Born in Walnut Creek.
And half swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
I don't know about that one. St. Mary's, originally 12th round pick by the Marlins in 2009.
If your school says St. Mary's, he's going to go to it. St. Mary's High School, St. Mary's College. Swinging a tapper foul.
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff you wore in high school, you can wear in college.
In the dirt, knocked down by Will Smith. It's 1-2.
But you know, a guy born in Walnut Creek, went to St. Mary's, kid comes over to the Giants uniform. I'm rooting for him. I mean, I always thought that was such a great story. Brandon Crawford got to the big leagues. Mom and dad were season ticket holders. Raised a Giants fan. No, I mean, Jensen, I mean, he went from Walnut Creek. He could be an A's fan. We'll find all that stuff out. But still, he's aware of both teams. I just think it's cool when a kid who grows up in the Bay Area gets to a big league club.
2-2. 3-2. So Culver not happy. He snapped at that ball that was thrown back by Smith. Mac Williamson's on deck. Good pitch. Got him.
Nasty slider on a 3-2 count. You can't throw it up there in a better location. Listen, look, if you got 9 at bats, you've hit 4 home runs, you're seeing it good. So you're always going to be a victim of a perfect pitch, and that's exactly what that was. I always say good pitching beats good hitting. Well, that was an example of it. You don't expect that type of pitch 3-2.
Mac Williamson had 1 at bat. He doubled in the 7th. He came in to the game as a pinch runner for Andrew McCutchen in the 5th.
Hit the ball off the wall and he got jammed.
Yes, he did. Here's the 1-0 to Mac Williamson. There's a strike on the outside corner. So Culver trying to get the last out. Mac Williamson trying to extend the inning. And it's now 1-2.
Another perfect slider right on that outside corner.
And the 1-2 pitch coming up to Mac Williamson, and that's the ball game. So here on this Sunday afternoon, the Dodgers beat the Giants by a final of 9-3.
Well, and it continues to be Steven Duggar's training camp, a 1-for-1 day with a home run and a walk and 2 nice plays defensively. And he continues to be the story of this Scottsdale Cactus League.
We will keep an eye on that kid. All right, final score here at Scottsdale Stadium. Giants lose 9-3 to the Dodgers. Our next telecast is on NBC Sports Bay Area. Sunday afternoon at 3 o'clock is the Giants host the Padres here at Scottsdale Stadium. Coming up next, it's the Giants season preview from my partner Mike Krukow. I'm Dwight Kuiper. Thanks for joining us from the desert. And as always, have a good night, everybody.